another episode of the Group Chat podcast. We are live on a Tuesday. Got a little bit of a schedule change this week, but we making it work. We're gonna be previewing the AFC today, which means I got a lot of Chiefs hate I got to get off my heart. There's still more, but I'll express what I can in this episode we got today. Tony's gonna be joining us here in a few minutes. But until then, I'm joined as always, my brother standing in at 6'1", 213.5 pounds. You gotta get those halves. Will is in the building. How we feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm here. Happy to be here.
Hey man, what's the last age you use like a half for anything? Like how kids would be like, oh, I'm 9.5 years old, or like if your weight is like I'm this and a half. Like what's the last time you feel like you used a half for anything?
A long time. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe fucking 30 years ago.
See, look at niggas aging themselves. I got called sir yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. It's like an what was that? It's like the joke everybody says, but you really not prepared for that shit until the first time somebody like actually calls you like sir or ma'am or some shit. Because I'm always around older people, like because of most of my friends are my age, but like I'm a September kid. So like when I was in school, everybody was always usually like a couple months older than me. Tony might be the youngest person like I talked to, if not including family, right? And my family definitely don't call me sir. And so it's like I never hear that, and so
Tony call you sir, don't he?
Say that when he get in here. We can clip the reaction. But I got called sir yesterday, and I was just like, "Who the fuck you talking to?" And it took me back for a second. I'm just like, I appreciate the like you got manners and like that's cool, but like don't call me sir. Like we gotta have a different name. You ever been called sir, or a nigga just straight up like disrespected you and called you unk?
I don't know if I've been called. I might have been called. I may have been called unk. I mean, sir, I get called that just in the work.
So yeah, you in charge of people. See, I don't count that like that. By definition, like I've been called that when I worked at the school, but like I don't know. To me, I view that a little differently.
But you were being called that by like I'm sure were you being called that by kids?
Basically, they was like high school, like right out of high school, it'd be like 18 to, with the exception of like one or two people, pretty much whole staff was like 18 to 20-year-olds. So they were kids. So that shit don't hit the same. But when a young kid
like mine, it's like sir, adults. It's people older than me. Like it's maybe adults, but some younger than me, some older than me. Some a lot older than me.
So yeah, you get the different level of respect. You got 50-year-olds calling you sir, like that. That shit is different.
Yeah, like 50s. That's like shit, maybe some 60s.
Like nigga, I run shit. You better call me sir. Excuse me.
I don't run nothing, man.
Oh man. Before we get into obviously going down into team picks, who you been listening to this week? Who gets your rapper of the week?
I don't think did I do a rapper of the week last week? Oh no, I wasn't there when y'all did rapper of the week.
Yeah, no, you. So it technically could be last week's too, if you want to. Just have a roll.
Yeah, well, it'll be. I think my rapper of the week last week would have been Meek. I don't really have a rapper of the week this week, and I know I used Meek recently, but I have been listening to a lot of Meek though, honestly.
Man, Tony used Larry June like 5 times in a row.
Yeah, I've been listening. Probably the past like 3 weeks or so, I've been listening to a lot of Meek. So.
Okay. I'm gonna support my home state. Game is my rapper of the week. Documentary 3, really good ass album, man. I think it's hilarious that they've already flagged one of the songs and you can't get it on Apple Music right now.
Hold on, you said the game. You said Documentary 3 was a good album. That's coming from you.
Documentary 3. Okay, look, I like Game. I just thought
everybody. One thing that y'all will notice every time he start with I like somebody, he lying. Everything that come after their name is a lie.
That's not always true. I said, because when we talked about Game, last time we talked about games like legitimately was Game versus YG. And I stand on what I said is I just think that's a bad matchup because of the same reasons that like Game kind of talks about in this album and Game has talked about his whole career, which is he never feels like he's been fully embraced, even though he was Game was undisputedly the best West Coast artist for a decade. If you don't count like the fact like Cube and Snoop and like niggas was in the background, but they obviously weren't as active as he was, right? And so, but because of the way, again, a lot of people still associate him like with G Unit and 50. It was like he didn't, even though he was the nigga saying like West Coast this, West Coast that, throwing his flag around, doing all this shit, he just somehow missed being like the West Coast hero. And so for right now, if you would have thrown him against the other West Coast artists, like I think he would have trouble in the verses against YG, which now if I'm game though, I feel like I won that because if I'd taken that whole bottle of Don Julio and then not just passing out 5 minutes later, like he could take that as a win. Um, if you went against Kendrick and if you went against Tyler, I think all three of those right now would be bad matchups. But historically, Game raps really fucking well. Game makes really good albums, and like he just like Game is a really good artist. But he was still even on this shit. He was putting a bunch of clips of niggas talking about him. He's like, I don't feel, which every rapper probably says it to some degree, like, oh, I don't feel like I get the respect I deserve because of where I was. And it's such a weird space for him because you were the guy carrying this torch for one of the like biggest spots in hip hop, and you probably feel like niggas never really gave you your full flowers, especially when you see right after you, like you see the love Kendrick gets, you see the love Tyler's getting right now, you see the love YG got. Like it's like I was doing this shit by myself for damn near a decade, and I got classic albums. Like he's got that kind of resume where it's like, why am I not like somebody's favorite rapper? Why am I not in some of these discussions? I got classic projects. Niggas know I can rap. I've done this. I've done that. Um, it's but Diamond 3 was really fucking good. I will say, and I know this that, and so this is kind of like I just expect it to be cooked in, so I don't use this as a thing against Game, but it's the one thing I do wish he did less. That nigga loves to name drop, and like he could do that just a little less. Like he's good at it, but I'm like, nigga, we could do a little because he got like 2 or 3 songs on there where it's like every other line he's just name dropping somebody, and I'm like, all right, bro, we get it. Like I get it, name dropping and you know referencing. That's a part of rapping. That's a part of hip hop. But like, you don't gotta do that shit like in multiple songs where it's like every other line feels like that.
Who was he name dropping? Who was some of the most prominent
Everybody,
name drops?
Nelly, Ashanti, Lil Baby, Rihanna, Beyonce, 50, Drake, Kendrick, multiple times Kendrick. Like he just he yeah no he was he's got a song on there that's literally just called Baby, and he referenced like he's talking about like out of the it's one of those, it's clearly for him trying to be like a radio song, and so it's one of those where they just got like the word looping over and over again, and he kind of raps to that word. But like he was throwing everybody's name out there, like Lil Baby, Jada, Beyonce, Nelly, Ashanti, Drake, Rihanna, Beyonce. Like it was just something like, all right, bro, you don't gotta. Like I get it, this is your thing, you love doing this, and who am I in a song that's got and an album that's got 24 songs, and 3 of them are just like gangbanging anthems, which you know, shout out to y'all. Um, it is I didn't need that, but I know that's gonna happen with games, so I'm like I'm not using it to critique the album. That's just not the records I'm gonna go back to. I just know that comes with listening to him. Is he's gonna do shit like that.
So what would you rate the album out of 10? And I haven't listened to it yet. I may get a chance to play it sometime this week, probably whenever I get back to the gym.
It's probably a great gym album. Like, unless you a nigga who like when you hear certain songs, you start like throwing up your own fingers and signs. Like, I wouldn't do that in the gym, but he's got a couple of those where you got like you get the edit, you hear it, and you kind of start pumping your chest out. Like, I get it, man.
And the West Coast was coming out, Justin.
I was like, hold on.
I said I ain't never threw a crip in my life.
I ain't never done none of that. And it's wild because like they get
like I ain't even know I didn't even know I knew how to throw up these gang signs.
That's a fact. Like
it's like it just awakened in you.
And then they hit you with that line where it's like, nigga, you wasn't even outside. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's who I am.
You said this line for me. You said the rest of this shit, that one for me. This line right here, though, this is for me.
That's my shit. Nigga wasn't outside at nighttime. You're absolutely right. Kept my ass in the house. and one of them just got flagged by Apple because they said, "Hey, look, y'all going a little too crazy talking about some of this shit." Um, but the album on a first week, it's probably like 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like that's a really good
Okay.
album. Like Game is, uh, and he even there's. I'm not really gonna try to read his mind on like what is a Kendrick diss and what's not. Um, but he even said he did an interview the day after, maybe it's 2 days after now. We basically said the song he has with Drake, which is called No Breaks, Drake's just on the hook. But I guess he said there was a version where Drake wasn't on the hook and Drake did a verse, but he was like, I know if I put that one out, it was just gonna stir a whole bunch of shit. And he was like, I'm not trying to diss nobody. And so he supposedly took the mature way out, and it's like cool. Um, Honestly, the worst song to me is probably the one with Wayne, which is disappointing, but the niggas made my life, so I don't ever need like another record from them. Like I'll be good. Like if I don't ever get like if I
what
don't ever
made
get
the
like another,
song? What made the song bad? Or not? I don't know if you're saying it's bad or if you're just saying it's the worst song on the album.
it's bad. It's that, and then like the shit he did with E40 in them. There's like 3 or 4 like big West Coast posse cut records, which I get, but to me, if you're going to do a posse cut record, I prefer like the style to Matt Trevor's album it is. And so like the posse cut record with E40, he's just trying to sound like E40, and I'm like that's not your thing. That's not a lot of niggas things. Like there's a reason why E40 is like in that he has a really unique lane and a unique way that he raps. Game should never try to do it. The shit with him and Wayne was like again, there's some gang affiliation shit in there that I'm just not gonna act like I even know. Um, but it was both of them trying to like rap. It almost sounds like you're trying to like recreate the "Look at Me Now" verse, which none of them should ever try to do again. And I love Wayne's "Look at Me Now" verse, but I'm like, we don't need this, bro. Like it's okay. Um, so that one to me is probably like a skip. But out of 24 songs, honestly, there's probably like I'd say like 16, 17 of them are really good. Like there's a couple there
Oh,
that
that's a
I'm like,
pretty good
I'm
album,
good. That's what I. That's
especially
it's
for that many songs.
no, it's a fact. Um, yeah. Again, and it's what Eddie's got. You could tell too, like what age he is as a rapper, and it's like there. It's not the game's ever been like the concept guy try to make this shit all one big long ass story, but you can kind of tell when he came up. It's like, all right, if you put out an album, you got to have a couple for the radio, you got to have a couple for like your quote unquote core fan base, you got a couple for the like stylistically, you can see, oh, this is a nigga who is game's got to be. Is Game 50? He's got to be close. How old is Game?
Definitely close, maybe like 48, somewhere around there.
Not Game of Thrones. How old is Game, the rapper? 46.
Okay.
So, and then he got a record in there, which is like him talking to his younger self. Like he was doing some shit on there. So shout out to Game, really good album. Um, that's easily my rapper of the week. Apple bring back the song because YG smoked that shit. And Lefty Gunplay actually rapped. I haven't heard Lefty Gunplay, and I want no issues. You said you're the best Latino rapper in California. Cool. I don't know what that qualification is. I'm not even sure who's in the running right now. But that was like
How
the
many Latino rappers you know personally?
I not many. So he might be right. It's just that's not my sport to call. Uh the what do you call it? But it was like I just have never heard like this nigga rap. Like I've heard him like talk on records, like literally just talk, or do a hook for some people, and they do interviews. And I'm like, I've never heard this nigga rap, and he was actually rapping. I'm like, all right, cool. That's my first Lefty Gunplay verse. Wasn't
He
bad.
was spitting that shit.
He was spitting. I ain't gonna know if I say spitting that shit, but he was spitting. I was like, it was a step up.
Super hot fire.
Because we're gonna get into the football picture to say, but like, I'll never forget like him going around being like, "Nigga, I got a verse on the Kendrick album," and it's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, bro, you said 4 words. Now, was it catchy and was it on TikTok everywhere and on the internet? Yeah, but I'm like, You said 4 words and you went around telling people like I got a verse on Kendrick shit. Like, we need to move this around. Excuse me. Uh, uh, uh. So yeah. So again, Toes will be joining us here in a little bit. We're gonna start with for the AFC. I'm gonna save the North and the West for last because obviously the two teams that got divisions. Those are the two divisions that have teams Tony and I root for. Same way we did the North last week. Uh, so we're gonna start with what's the worst of it? Let's start with the AFC South. The AFC South objectively feels like the worst division. Um, so kind of just going in order for me real quick is the AFC South is just a bunch of I know why all of these teams could be good, and I could also see all of these teams like I also see why all these teams could be bad, right? Like Houston to me, their defense is crazy. But CJ's gotta figure it out. Like CJ can't be this bad 2 years in a row. Because no matter how good your defense is, and I'm gonna reference Denver a good amount. Like I watched Denver even post the Super Bowl, still put up like top 5 defenses, but niggas threw Trevor Siemian out there at quarterback, and so it got ugly real quick. And not saying CJ Stroud is Trevor Siemian, but last year he was not that far off. So I think Houston absolutely has a great defense, but offensively, you got to figure it out. I like Nico Collins. I like Tank Dell. I hope he can stay healthy. But CJ's got to figure it out when it comes to them. Uh, the Colts, high key, the Colts have more good players than I probably give them credit for.
Well,
I also
it's weird. It's weird though too. Not even weird, but like the South had a better record, like finished with more wins than the North
yeah, no,
as
it
a
was it
division.
was like they're not terrible teams besides the Titans, who I just look, man. I picked the Titans last year. It wasn't a good pick. It is what it is. We move on. I almost picked them again this year. I realized real quick after looking at the schedule, okay, it's gonna be a terrible pick again. We move on. Um, but the Colts have like Quentin Nelson is still one of the best guards in football. Sauce Gardner is one of the he's coming off a rough stretch, but he is still theoretically one of the best corners in football. Um, do I love giving Alec Pierce $100 million because he caught 60 passes? I'm not crazy about it, but he did have over 1,000 yards. He is a good deep threat. Uh,
I actually like
they,
Alec Pierce. So I don't know if I would have gave him that money. I mean,
it's
what
just
he been in the league 4 years, and this is his first year actually producing. But
that's
I mean, granted, like because one thing that I was saying, and the reason I kind of paid attention, I didn't watch Colts games, but um, his rookie year and his second year, I had Alec Pierce in my fantasy. So
oh there you go.
that's kind of like the only reason I can really know some of his stats. Like he showed flashes, like um, over the years, but also they did have really poor quarterback play.
And that's the thing is it's like when you go down the list of like okay, who's got a quarterback coming off of injury? And it's like, where does Daniel Jones fit in that, right? So, like, Mahomes is at the top of the list, right? He's coming off injury. No one's ever going to confuse Daniel Jones with Mahomes. Like,
Shut
that's
up,
just
nigga.
not a
Where we
conversation.
at?
He so yeah, he definitely he and I mean I don't think he showed us that he could be good, consistent enough for us to have faith in that nigga coming off injury either. Like I mean, this was your first decent season for real.
That's Daniel Jones has played about 10 good football games in the NFL.
Hey Tony, just so you know, I know you kind of late getting in here and all that, but Justin said you probably should be calling him sir from now
All
on,
right,
just
nigga.
cause,
No. Yeah.
just cause he your elder type shit. So I told him I don't know how my nigga gonna receive that, but I'll tell him.
Sir is crazy.
Hey, we got this shit. This shit is on camera. We got this shit recorded. I'm gonna plead my innocence. I'm gonna plead my defense later. Um, but like Daniel
Sir
Jones,
is very
even the
funny.
year the Giants made the playoffs, this nigga had 15 touchdowns. So I'm like, Daniel Jones. Yes, did they get off to a great? What the Colts were 8-2 or even 8-1 maybe? Like they got off to a crazy start last year. I think Shane Steichen's a really good head coach. Again, they have more good high end players than even I thought before going into this. But it's still Daniel Jones coming off an injury. I don't like them as much as as good as their offense was last year. I don't like their offense as much as I like the Texans' defense. Um, the Jaguars are the wild card to me because it's like they are in this group of like, hey, you were really good last year. What are you going to be in the follow up, right? And so, and I give them the credit. I doubted the Jaguars all last year. Never really had them on my
You
my
did.
power rankings. And then they walked into Denver in week 14 or 15 and just whooped Denver's ass. And so I'm like, all right, that's my karma. Like, just that's how it was. Trevor Lawrence played great. They won that game. So, but again, they lost Travis. They lost Devin Lloyd. And I'm blanking on one more. I feel like, God, they didn't resign. Like, they lost one more starter. I'll figure it out here in a second. But so it's can you repeat that? And Trevor
A
Lawrence
chain.
again. Yeah, well, it said Travis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, you meant like
Travis,
in free
Devin
agency? I
Lloyd.
was thinking about losing Travis under the injury.
That's the other thing too. Is like what is Travis Hunter going to be in year two? And because he's
He's
starting
playing
the year
corner
hurt.
primarily. No, he's fine.
Okay, so it's like, are you a repeat of this? And Trevor Lawrence, you got Trevor Lawrence has been in the league now. He's got 6 years, and if we want to throw out Urban Meyer shit, you got two top seven MVP finishes. You also got a bunch of crap mixed in the middle. So it's like, who is Trevor Lawrence? Can you put together back to back high end quality seasons? Because you're going to need it, especially because you've already been paid like one of those guys. Like Trevor's contract is $55 million a year, so it's you are the reason this team's got to be good.
Yeah.
Um, and the Titans, look, man, I gave up my Titan drugs. I put him down. I still like Cam Ward. He hasn't had a great preseason. I know it don't look great, but like Titans, I'll side eye y'all. You know, like we'll talk in 4 weeks. If y'all got a winning record, you know, I'll say I've been here since the beginning.
No, 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 no. That's not how that works.
I've been here the whole time. We'll see when the team draft comes up if I use my 10th pick on them. Early thoughts on the we're just on the AFC South right now, Tony. So,
Okay.
early thoughts for the AFC South.
Um, Houston is winning it. The Titans and Colts won't be that good, and I don't know what to make of Jacksonville, but I'm leaning in a certain direction that I'll get to.
Okay, I'll ask real quick just because, again, I'm not super high on the Colts. I'm not trying to come off as the Colts guy. You still got Quentin Nelson. You still got Jonathan Taylor. You still got Sauce Gardner. Like, your O-line as a whole is, like, in the top half of the league. Like, you don't have an awful offensive line. You got Alec Pierce. Like, why, I guess, are you not sold on the Colts? Or why do you think the Colts are going to be bad?
Alec Pierce is hurt, and they aren't saying what it is. Um, Daniel Jones is literally coming off of an Achilles injury when his whole thing is his mobility, which is how he works. Like he literally works because he can move. The defense improved, but it's still not necessarily great. So a full season of Sauce is good for the secondary. Still got Charvarius Ward, AJ Halsey out of LSU. I liked a lot. The offensive line is still going to be good, and obviously Jonathan Taylor has no reason not to be good still. But if I don't love the receiving room outside of Tyler Warren. Like they're going to be dependent on Keenan Allen to get a lot of snaps at 37. I just can't. I can't get with
It's
that.
tough.
And like I said, if Daniel Jones was coming into this season healthy, I could get with that because they probably maybe they don't make the playoffs if he doesn't get hurt, but they are probably still in the playoff race to the very end if he doesn't get hurt. And
Yeah, agreed.
I just can't I just can't get with the mobile quarterback coming off a torn Achilles and the receiving room being as lacking as it is. I can't get with it. Like if the defense is at best average, that's a good place to be. But if the offense is going to be below average, which I think it can be, it has the possibility of being, that's tough.
No, that's fair. Again, I'm more so asking because I'm like, I couldn't tell if I was just hating on the Colts. And I'm like, I'm not a super huge believer in it, but I'm trying to be fair because there's going to be arguments, I think, and I think Denver's better than the Colts. I think there's arguments that I'm going to make for Denver that I think also apply to the Colts, and I'm just like, all right, let me try to be fair here. But Will, what you think? AFC South early thoughts?
Um, I got the Texans winning it. I'm interested to see what CJ Stroud, how CJ looks this year. I think it'll probably be. I think he's gonna have a pretty good year. Like it would be crazy for him to not have a good year. What is this? His contract year, right? Well,
Yep.
they picked up his 5th-year option already, so yeah. I mean, I got the Texans finishing first. Clearly, I got Jacksonville after them, the Colts, and the Titans will be at the bottom. I think the Colts are just okay. I think they'll probably finish maybe somewhere around the same place they did last year as far as wins. I mean, I think they were 8-9. I'm looking at now, so maybe they'll be somewhere around the same. Maybe they'll be somewhere around that same place.
Did they win a game after Daniel Jones went out?
No, they were like 8-2 or something. They were like 8-2
no,
when
that's
he
what
went
I'm
out.
saying. Like
And they
were the
finished
1
9 and
seed.
8, right? I mean
8-9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the 1 seed the whole first half of the season, and it was like
They were the
it
1
was so
seed. He was in
hard.
it. He was in MVP talks.
That was crazy. That was. I'm just.
He was.
Look, man.
He was hooping though.
I can't say nothing. They won off a dumbass field goal.
And it's just tough. Like I mean, for the reasons Tony named, as far as Daniel Jones and his mobility coming back from the Achilles injury, but also like even not coming off it, we don't know that you were going to repeat that. Like we haven't seen you be good consistently.
No, that's 1,000%.
Enough. We haven't seen you be good consistently enough to just think that you were going to repeat what you were doing last year.
I think David Montgomery is going to bring a lot to Houston
I think so too. Their run game was ass last year.
for years, arguably.
Well, yeah.
No, they
Who was the last good? Like who was it? Who did they have since like Arian Foster that I may be not thinking about?
Joe Mixon was okay for him.
Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was good. Joe Mixon was good. Let me.
Joe Mixon was okay for
fuck with
him. Let me think.
I think was that not last season, but the season before. Was that the season when Nick Chubb kind of had like a little burst or something when he first came back? Was that when he first got over there or something like that?
No, because I think Nick Chubb's first year for them was last year. Because he played on that.
Because I feel like
he
had
came
a couple
back.
Of good games. Yeah, I feel like
he
had
came
a couple
back
of good games.
during that. He came back during Jameis's Browns run. Yeah, Mixon went 10, 16, and 11 touchdowns for him in 2024. Didn't play last year. So, yeah, Mixon was solid. But they haven't had, like, a great back maybe since Arian left that I can think of.
Right now, I'm like, these are all the niggas who have ran for 1,000 yards in Texans history. Now, not trying to clip this, Texans ain't been around that long. I think they're still the newest franchise in football.
Very funny.
So it's Joe Mixon, Carlos Hyde, Lamar Miller, Steve Slayton, Dominic Williams, and Arian Foster. Those are the only niggas that ever run for 1,000 yards. So it's not a long list of like you not cranking out like high end running backs. So who's the best quarterback in this division?
It's Trevor, but it's Trevor, but it should be CJ. I'm not gonna say should. That's like entitled him to that, but it could be CJ.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what you got? You got 3 quarterbacks who all picked top 2. 2 of them number 1, right? Cam Ward and Trevor Lawrence number 1. CJ Stroud number 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's also I forgot to bring that up last week, is the NFC North's got that. The NFC North is literally starting 3 number 1 overall picks because Kyler, Jared Goff, and Caleb all number 1. Like, and then Jordan Love was a first round pick, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he, like 10 or something like that?
That was like
Or was he that high?
17, 18. Something in that realm.
Everybody is. I'd say Trevor's
About
got it right
26.
now.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
definitely not a like impeachable position. Like if you said halfway through the year, like the Jaguars weren't playing well and the Texans were, and like CJ specifically was playing well, I don't think it's like a big gap CJ has to close. Um, yeah, no, it's an interesting quarterback division. That's for sure. Um,
Have y'all talked about the Texans defense at length yet?
so I just said the generic um comment, like yes, their defense is great. I do want to ask this: A, is their defense the best unit in football? Like, so anybody's offense or anybody's defense versus the Texans' defense. Um, and B, this was obviously the talk last year towards the playoffs. Are they good enough to be one of those defenses that like we look at like they carried their team to a Super Bowl? Are they Legion of Boom, no fly zone, the Ravens? Like are they that good? I think Will Anderson personally, also just to get out the way, I think Will Anderson's the second best defensive player in football, and he might be the best human because I don't know what the fuck Myles Garrett is, but if you're just talking about like human beings who have to play the sport, Will Anderson is the best defensive player in football.
I don't know if he's human either, but
That's
who's to say? Are they the best unit in football? As of right now, I would have to say yes.
We talking about
It's
the Texans. My bad,
yeah.
Joe. Okay.
It is tough because they're not unequivocally the best defense, and
I'm listening. I
they're
think I got the I like
they are they don't lack in any area of their defense from front to back. The linebacking core is very good, especially Al Shair. Um, and they got blue chip talent. For me, when it comes to the best defenses, is them in Seattle, 1A and 1B, and then Denver's right there. 1C sounds stupid, so it's just it's just
no, I
that.
get you. No,
Um, so, but I do think they're the best unit, though. I do think they're the best unit as things stand right now. But that also speaks to the quality of Seattle and Denver, because, like I said, I don't think they're the clear cut best defense. But as of right now, I would say that they are the best unit because of Will and Daniil. You got two guys that can get you 10, 11, 12 plus sacks. You got linebackers that can cover and turn the ball over. And then when you look at the secondary, Stingley speaks for itself. Kalen Bullock was really good last year. Kamari Lassiter may be the best number two corner in the league. Jalen Petrie, one of the best nickel slash safety slash whatever you need him to be. And these motherfuckers got Reed Blankenship. Like they did all of that and said, let's get Reed Blankenship.
they stacked. Like
That's why everything you just said is like they definitely unequivocally the best
so,
defensive unit.
But see, if I was to go through Seattle, I could do the same thing. That's the thing. It's like
that's I just say
if I went through Seattle or even Denver, outside of like we know who Riley Moss, I could do the same thing.
hey, listen, man.
But I think even Riley Moss is what separates y'all from being like
The
them.
problem with that, so the
But
problem with that is like everybody's got and I say this like truly respectfully, where it comes down to is it's like do you go with like Denver by definition? It's like okay, do you say that? And I think this is true. Are Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter better individual pass rushers than Benito and Cooper? And Cooper's going through a legal thing. I'm not sure if he's gonna be on the team. Yes, but Denver's led the league in sacks the last 2 years. That matters. So it's like, yes, Houston, if you just go stack on paper, their pass rushers are better individually, but Denver's have produced more. Obviously, if you go to corner, Stingley's great, Witherspoon's great. Excuse me right now, I don't know if there's people really making arguments against like PS2 being the number one corner in football. Not that those guys are far behind, but number one is number one. Same thing with Will Anderson as a pass rusher. He's the best pass rusher on any of those three. Where I think it's different, and I really want to see how this year plays out. And it's what Denver did, Denver had one of the stupidest stats ever. Denver got to the quarterback more than anybody, almost anybody ever. They only had 14 turnovers, which is stupidly low for a defense. Like, everybody made fun of the Jets because they didn't get a single fucking interception, and I was kind of laughing off to the side, and I'm just like, man, these niggas, like, they don't throw it Sertan. Moss gets a penalty, and Hufanga just has brick hands. But, like, only 14 turnovers, I think that's going to go back to the normal when you generate that kind of pressure. But if it doesn't, then I think Denver is third. I think they're behind Seattle and Houston. If Denver starts generating turnovers, then I think we have a different conversation. And Seattle, if Seattle was to say the number one because they just had the dominant playoff run, and they also, again, player for player, like, they stack up, I'm cool with that too. It's very much like when we were growing up, like Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I don't think you really had a wrong answer on who was the best defense. But they were clearly like in a class by themselves. And it's all right, you got Ed, you got Troy at his peak. You've obviously got Ray, who's the best linebacker ever. But like the Pittsburgh was a weekend linebacker. And the rankings were like, these niggas give up 12 points a game. These niggas give up 13. And it's like, all right, take your fucking choice. Like,
It's funny how I used to, I still do, but I used to give the Steelers so much shit because it's like, Troy Polamalu don't even play safety, man. They play linebacker and shit. And Kyle Hamilton do the same thing now. But
Troy did whatever he wanted on the field. Them niggas said, all right, man, look.
I was hating.
You that
I'm still
I
hating.
get it. But no, so Houston also, which is kind of works in their favor. I think out of those three, like if Houston's offense doesn't rebound, like their defense is going to get extra credit. And like that's not a real way you should measure it, but it is. People are going to be like, oh, well, they have no offense, so it's like that defense is even better, even if they
That's
were
real.
theoretically like on par statistically. So, but their defense is fucking fantastic. Like I'm not here to. It's no shit talking. It's them niggas is crazy. And again, Seattle just won a Super Bowl.
Offensively for Houston is like, if the line can protect, that's one. That is super number one. If the line can protect, and you can get contributions from this receiving core now that Rashad Higgins went down. Still got Nico. We don't know what Tank Dell's going to be like. Got Jalen Noel, but even still, I think Keyshawn Booty is better than Jalen Noel, and if Tank's healthy, he's better than Jalen Noel. So, and Tank's coming from ridiculous leg injury, so I can't even pretend to act like he's going to be Tank Dell still. But if he has any inkling of what he was, he's better than Jalen Noel. So the offense is the thing. Like it just comes down to protecting C.J. Stroud and him being able to get back to his rookie year, and he was at best average last year, and borderline good to average in 2024. It was the lasting impression of C.J. Stroud is the meltdown in New England. So I think that's kind of made people think he's worse than he actually is. If he's protected and he's just back to being just a good quarterback, if C.J. Stroud's the 12th best quarterback, the Texans will be just fine.
It's crazy. CJ, all you got to do is get Justin Herbert's PR because y'all both melted down in the playoffs, but I only hear one of you. One of y'all I'm just told is going to be like great, and one of y'all I'm told might lose his job. So, PR helps, man. Just saying. I know a nigga who got 4 turnovers in a playoff game, and niggas told me he's the greatest quarterback on the planet.
I think, too, real.
That will.
No, I was going to say, too, I think with Houston in the offense. I think with Houston in the offense, I think Tony mentioned it like when he first was talking about the Texans, David Montgomery. I think an improved run game is definitely going to help them overall, but can also, we always talk about, running kind of benefiting the pass game and things like that. So I think David Montgomery is going to be a big piece of that offense.
Yeah. They also get to start the season off, which I think will, again, we're talking about like the best defense. It does matter who you play. And I think Houston, because they start against Buffalo week 1, Josh has never really played great against Houston. Last year, he got sacked 8 times. The year before that, he completed 9 passes in a game. Like, they've had Josh Allen's number for a minute. And so if they start off next season again, Seattle gets open against New England. It's going to be national TV. They're also going to have this argument. All three of them, really. Like, if we're doing, like, who gets the argument for best defense, Denver starts against Mahomes, who's obviously coming off an injury, but it's Mahomes. Houston gets to start off against Josh Allen. And the Seahawks are going to start defending their title against Drake May and the Patriots. So it's going to be an early, like, hey, who comes out and who puts up, like, the best performance, they're going to get to carry the flag for that first part of the season. And there's just a lot of teams on Houston's schedule where I'm like, I don't know if they can actually move the ball consistently against them. Like, yeah, offensively, those games might be low scoring, but, like, it is – those three defenses are also different. Like, Seattle forces a ton of turnovers. Houston, it's just fucking hard to move the ball against them. And Denver just forces you to go backwards. And so but moving the ball against Houston, that thing's a bitch. Like, shout out to Bo Nix for being the last nigga to beat them in the regular season. Over under let me go in order here. So we got the Texans here at the top. Let me pull this back up. Here we go. Did I miss somewhere? There you go. Houston is at 9.5.
Over.
I will go over too.
Yeah. That's a crazy number for them. Like I think that's low. The Colts we got here are at. I wish they separated these better. The Colts are at 7.5.
Under.
I think I got the Colts under right. Double checking my schedule. Oh, I got the niggas right here. Colts. Oh, I got the Colts to 8, so I'm going over. I got them missing the playoffs, but I got them to 8 wins. You said under, Tony?
Yeah.
Will, you got over under Colts 7.5 wins. I will get him when he gets back. So Tony under, and then I got them just over at 8. The Jaguars are also at 9.5. Faith in Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. I'm an under. I got the Jaguars at 7 wins.
I'm looking at the schedule right now, and I look at those 2 Colts games. I look at Washington, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, New York. Tennessee twice, of course. New York. First month can go either way, I feel like. First 2 months can go either way, I feel like.
They start Cleveland, then at Denver, New England, and at Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati. I'm 9.5, you said.
Yeah, the Jaguars are at 9.5.
Do I see 10 wins here for the Jags? I do see 10 wins here for the Jags. I'm gonna go over.
Got them over. Will, real quick, we got the Colts at 7.5 wins. You got over or under?
Under.
Okay, and then the Jaguars are at 9.5 wins. I got them under. Tony's got them over.
You said that. What is it? 9.5.
Yeah, Jaguars are at 9.5.
Well, that's Colts Chiefs a Sunday night game.
What week is it?
2.
Who rebounded from their injury better?
Man, watch out. Watch out. You going over on the Jags, Will?
I go over. Yeah, I go over on the Jags. I'll give them 10.
The Jags have been tough for me to read, but I'm gonna go over.
My Tennessee Titans at 6.5.
Under.
Under.
Their goal should be can we get to 6 wins? Can we?
I was gonna say if they could double the wins from last season.
Can we win 6 games this year?
I went through the schedule and I only got 3, so I'm under.
It's
I
tough.
was I was I was trying to again.
Or at
I
least put
just
up numbers with your quarterback.
that's
If they
that
if
not
they lose that,
fix him. It's gonna be tough.
yeah, this is
Did you
tough.
say? Did you say fix him?
Fix him, man. Like just like don't let Cam Moore go out like this, man. We'll go over to the AFC East. Uh, this is another one where I feel like the schedule plays a huge factor. Now, this division has just two awful teams. So the Jets suck. The Dolphins are literally trying to rebuild. Shout out to Malik Willis for getting paid, and now you get to live in Miami. I don't have a ton to talk about them. Miami just took, excuse me, the largest cap hit in NFL history. That's obviously Tua's contract. Um, Hilarious because you see the before and after of like Tua at practice after he signed, and now Tua at a Tua, somebody, okay, look, Falcons social media team, is all I'm going to say. Stop
Is he
posting
fat?
like Tua's practice. No, but he's throwing the ball on the ground. Like, he's throwing the ball
Who's
on the
always
ground.
doing
Like,
that?
but I haven't seen this. They haven't posted a completion. Like, they just keep throwing like this nigga like running away for 2 steps and throwing that bitch in the dirt. I'm like,
They don't.
why are
They
y'all letting
posting
this
his
out?
ducks.
Yeah.
That's sabotage. They don't want him there either.
um, so those two teams, the Jets, again, you just need more talent. You're rolling with Geno Smith in 2026. Garrett Wilson, I'm glad you got paid. It's gonna be rough for both of those two.
Geno Smith gonna be ass.
That's look, man.
like,
He got
I'm glad he was able to kind of turn his career around and get some checks.
yeah, like
They
get
finna be
paid, and
ass.
now
But they drafted. Who did they draft? They drafted a rookie, right?
who did the Jets just draft? They got
K Klubnik, I think. Which their future quarterback is not on the roster. That we do know.
Okay.
that's a fact. The Patriots and Bills. I'm not near like again. I think the fair opinion on Josh Allen is he's a great quarterback. He is a top 2 quarterback. He is. I haven't said if you want to say he's number 1 until we see Mahomes post the ACL or like play again. Fine. I don't think he's better than Mahomes, obviously, but if you want to use the injury as a disclaimer, sure. Besides that, I don't know what we really love about Buffalo. Like Deion Dawkins is still a great left tackle, cool. I think DJ Moore is a good receiver. They obviously picked him up. But like defensively, this team, I think them and the Chargers, nobody is really discussing the fact that like you lost even if you don't think Sean McDermott is a great head coach, like you lost a great defensive coordinator. He gave Josh multiple top 5 defenses. So I think the defense is going to take a step back. You hired Joe Brady, which I guess, like, when you hire a guy because he's already on your staff, and it's not like he was a guy that other teams are really trying super hard to get. It wasn't like had the Lions, and I get it, Dan Campbell's a great coach, they weren't going to fire him. But like, if let's say the Lions were like, all right, damn, we're going to hire Ben because he's on the staff, and it's like he's obviously a wanted coach. Cool, that makes sense. When you hire the nigga and it was like nobody was trying to fight you to get him off your staff, I'm not crazy about it.
Not even just that, but I guess it's also interesting, like because he was Joe Brady calling the plays.
He was the OC.
Yes.
Yeah. He was.
So he gonna still be calling the plays now. Now you just need to find somebody to run the defense.
Correct. And so it's like.
So it's almost like which granted, I guess if you were losing Sean McDermott, like at this point, you had to either hire Joe Brady or lose your head coach who was calling the defense, I'm assuming, and lose your offensive coordinator because he wanted to be a head coach. So like you almost kind of had to hire him to like because either we hire him or that nigga go somewhere else. Even if he don't head coach, he go to be an OC somewhere else.
No, that's a fact. Joe was probably going to be an OC somewhere, which again a lateral move, fine, but it's like they got Jim Leonard now because they took Jim Leonard off Denver staff.
They did get Jim Leonard.
But I'm saying, I'm saying losing both probably sends you into I won't say a rebuild because of the players they got, but it'll probably put you in a real bad spot.
I just don't know what like. Again, one of like the things I've been talking about the last couple of weeks is I'm like we're at that age now because like the core 4 quarterbacks who are all 30 or 31 now, like so Lamar, Joe, Josh, and Mahomes, like somebody isn't winning. Like Mahomes has already obviously won. Somebody's not winning, and I think there just needs to be more when it comes to Josh Allen in this next set of his career. And to me, I think Josh is going to play the least out of all of them because I don't think you can play Josh Allen's style as long as he wants to because him and Lamar both run, but Josh runs like Cam, which is he runs into niggas and he's not afraid of it. Y'all remember the fucking opening game against the Rams like 2 years ago? And this nigga, or I think it's Aaron Donald's last year, and he ran head first into fucking Aaron Donald, let him throw his ass, and I'm just like, all right, bro, you gotta chill. So, do I think I'm not crazy about New England, but I do think New England, both their schedule and I like the AJ Brown edition. Like I think they're going to still be really good. They're obviously in that same class. I talked to the Jaguars in the AFC South. Like, hey, you did it 1 year, let's see you do it again. But I like New England this year more than I like Buffalo, even if Josh is the best player in that division. So that's my AFC East deep dive. One of these two teams might go winless, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like the Jets and Dolphins are in a. We'll
Just not
have to lose each other. Imagine niggas only get one win. Yeah.
I'm just not gonna go winless.
Get Gino on a good day. I mean, Gino did beat the Patriots last year, so there is that.
I mean, the Jets won 3 games last year. Who was the quarterback?
They did win 3 games last year.
Who was the quarterback?
Who won games for the Jets last year? Them niggas started like 3 to 4 different quarterbacks.
Was that last year Justin Fields was still over there?
Was he still over there? Yeah, because he got the 2 for 40. Yeah, shout out to Justin Fields for getting paid. That's right.
Well, we don't even know who was quarterback, and they won 3 games. Niggas know Geno Smith at least.
That might not be a good thing though. Like niggas do know Geno Smith, but that might not be a good thing.
Niggas also know Geno Smith for the Jets.
This is true. Where do y'all stand on the AFC? The pretty much 2-horse race for the division. Unless somebody wants the brave take, like y'all could pick the Jets or the Dolphins for the division.
Nah, I got the Dolphins being the worst. I think I might have the Dolphins being worse than the Jets this year.
That's on the board.
The Dolphins are absolutely worse than the Jets.
The Dolphins.
The Jets. I'll let you finish, Will. I'll let you finish.
Nah, you're good.
They both stink. Like,
yeah, I ain't really. It ain't much to talk about between them two. So I will put the Jets at the bottom. I'll put the Dolphins at the bottom. I got the Jets in third. Yeah, between New England and Buffalo, maybe I'll lean New England winning the division again.
I look at this Jets roster, and I don't think the Jets are going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying that, but like the Jets aren't a terrible roster. One, I feel like if they had a quarterback that people could believe in, then they'd be looked at a little bit differently. And then a lot of people still don't really know what Aaron Glenn is. Like a lot of people think he's on one of the first coach fired lists, which is like I can't debate.
They well coached.
I can't debate that he isn't on the hot seat or that he is, because I don't even know if the Jets know what they got going on over there. But if you just look at this team, you look at the receiving room, you got Garrett Wilson, you got A.D. Mitchell, Omar Cooper, and Kenyon Sadiq, and Mason Taylor. It's like, I like that. I don't hate that at all. You got Olu Fashanu, who's shown himself to be a good left tackle. Membu was great last year. And then the interior of the line, if it's just a solid interior, you can do something with that. Brees is one of the best backs we got. And then defensively, the defense is still really good. They got rid of a lot of guys, let a lot of guys go, but Will McDonald was fucking really good, which is why they kept him over a Jermaine Johnson. Tavondre Sweat, I think, is still really good, getting him from Tennessee. You got Demario Davis from the Saints, who still, even at his age and all these years, is still a really good linebacker, and I think can stabilize the defense. The back end, getting Minka's a big deal. Like, Minka's still really fucking good. Brandon Stevens is his own situation, but that might not even matter if like some of these younger guys that they've drafted can come in and make an impact. So yeah, I think D'Angelo Pons is going to be good for them as well if he's healthy. Yeah, I don't like I said I'm not saying they'll be a 10-win team and make the playoffs, but I don't think we can put them in like the same conversations like the Dolphins or the Browns or something like that. And I don't even want to say that about the Browns because that's his own thing. I'm specifically talking about the Dolphins. Um,
They're better than the Dolphins and the Cardinals. I'll give them that.
yeah, that exactly,
Yeah.
precisely, that precisely. Um, this obviously, like Justin said, this comes down to Buffalo and New England. Um, and the New England thing is weird to me because I do think that the variable shit can like weigh, and I do think it can have an impact on this team, just from a vibe standpoint. Obviously, they got AJ Brown and Romeo Dobbs is here. The receiving room's better than it was last year when they went to the Super Bowl. There's no reason to think that New England will be worse, but we always see there's one of the two Super Bowl teams have to take a step back, and I just don't see that being Seattle.
Hmm.
So it kind of has to be New England to me by process, which leads me to think that Buffalo does win this division. Buffalo is better this year to me, specifically when you think about the receiving room on their end, getting DJ Moore there, which pushes Shakur to more of a number two, a more natural place for him to be. The offensive line wasn't as good last year as it's been in years past, but I do think that that can be improved. And defensively, you don't love the defense in Buffalo, but it hasn't, for as much shit as it gets, is always finished as a top 10 defense by all the metrics. It's never been a defense that is just giving up 30 points all over the place. So I don't see why that changes this year either, especially adding the pieces that they added, getting a TJ Parker in the draft, signing a Bradley Chubb, um, and bringing in like a CJ Gardner Johnson who always adds, something to the defenses he's on and until he gets cut or traded or suspended for being CJ Gardner Johnson. So so
It's a fact. He's like the
yeah,
Geno
I
Smith of the NFL, high key.
essentially essentially. So yeah, I'd go with Buffalo to win this division, but I'll get to the playoffs of it all when we get to the end of the show, but New England is tricky for me.
Do you before Will goes real quick to the Buffalo point? Do you expect the defense? I said I think the defense takes a step back because of Sean McDermott no longer being there. Again, issues with him as a head coach. Cool. I also think historically, like if you're the nigga who just kept losing to Mahomes, I'm like 10 years down the road, it's like, all right, we get it. But I do think the defense takes a step back because he was a great DC. Like maybe issues as a head coach, but he was a great DC. Josh had multiple top five units with him.
In theory, in theory, but the players are still there at the end of the day, and they don't. If you're expecting this Buffalo offense to be really good, which I am personally, this doesn't have to be a defense that's great. It doesn't have to be like a top six defense. If this is the 13th ranked defense, and Josh gets this to the seventh or sixth ranked offense, that's a win.
No, it's a fact. Will, who you got in the early Patriots versus Bills debate?
I think I'm leaning Patriots to win the division. Um, and I think a lot of it too. I do like DJ Moore, the DJ Moore edition. Obviously, he came from Chicago, but I think Khalil Shakir is definitely more of a number two, and I think initially they were hoping Keon Coleman was going to be able to kind of step into that number one role, and then they realized he was stupid. Um, so I like the DJ Moore pickup. I think now obviously I do like the AJ Brown pickup a little bit more for the Patriots, but I just think I think they're gonna kind of keep getting better. But I didn't even think about the Vrabel point though until Tony mentioned it. I kind of forgot all about his whole little situation that he got going on. So, I mean, that
If
could
they
be kind
start
of
bad,
interesting
that
on
will
how they impact the
absolutely
team.
matter.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna use it. They're gonna bring. If they start bad, it's definitely gonna become a more highlighted thing.
They open at Seattle, they play Pittsburgh, and then back to back at Jacksonville, at Buffalo.
I got
We'll
you for
know
36.
by I got you. We'll know by the time they get to Vegas. By the time they play Vegas on October 11th, we'll know what the vibes are after those first 4 weeks. And that's not to say the season's over, but we'll kind of have an idea of like what they either need to be better at, or it's all smoking like it's all just what off season bullshit. Like they are still rolling.
Yeah. I think it's excuse me. And this is if they start bad, I think because and I always try to like not have super strong opinions on this because I'm not an offensive coordinator in the NFL. Excuse me. Is I think if like Kyle Shanahan admitted he got into a car accident, and apparently the report is they're not giving us the full story because he admitted it was his fault and supposedly might be worse than what it looked like, right? I don't think that matters as much for someone like Kyle Shanahan, who the reason why he's considered a great head coach is because he's got the golden offensive playbook, right? Versus if you're a Mike Vrabel, if you're a Dan Campbell, these guys who feel like they're character guys and it's like the locker room and the environment, I feel like this kind of shit hurts them more because the number one thing you bring in is like you got to be believable. Like Kyle Shanahan could be a piece of shit. Like again, I keep referencing. Denver's head coach is a piece of shit by all accounts. But if the playbook is good, niggas gonna keep listening to the playbook. Versus if you are a locker room guy or an environment guy, and now you a piece of shit, it's much harder to believe you because it's like, what am I like? What makes you believable in this moment? Uh,
This New
especially when
England
you go out
schedule
there.
is kind of tough, man.
No, it's
you go,
they.
they get November 1st. They are at Miami. Then they have just a gauntlet, really. They
Mm-hmm.
got Green Bay, Detroit at home. Well, they got Green Bay at home, 425. Then they got an overseas game against Detroit, which is always weird. Then they
Yeah.
go to LA to play the Chargers. They get Buffalo, Minnesota, at Kansas City, at Jets, which is divisional game, and the Jets always play them relatively tough. Denver and then Miami to close out the year.
No, they got a tough.
That's tough.
Now, I'm not gonna ask who's the best quarterback in this division because we know it, and I really don't even think, honestly, because I don't think Josh can play this bad. That even if Drake has another MVP level season, I don't think he could pass Josh in like the quarterback hierarchy. I think he would need to stack up a few more seasons before we get to that convo. But I do
Mm-hmm.
want to ask about AJ Brown. If AJ Brown has the kind of season that people think he can with Drake May, who is a better quarterback or at least definitively a better passer than Jalen Hurts, is AJ Brown, can he get himself back in the top five combos?
Can AJ Brown get himself
Cause
back in the top five wide receiver convos?
correct. Because since he's theoretically left,
I don't
like
think so.
JSN's in
I think
there.
that's an age thing, though. I don't think it's like a him thing.
Okay. Because he'd have to be better than like JSN, Puka, Chase, Jefferson, and then who's like I think those four are like locked in. Who is the fifth guy right now?
You said JSN, Chase,
Jefferson,
uh,
Puka.
Jets, and
Maybe.
Puka.
Um,
It's Amon Ra.
well, y'all got him on Raw. Yeah.
That's okay. I agree. I don't know though if that's like the consensus because like I feel like I've heard niggas argue CD versus Amon Ra. Now
You
this
could
last
argue
season
it.
CD is in there too.
and so like could AJ have a season where it's like oh he's better than Amon
Pickens
Ra?
is in that motherfucker if he hoop again.
That's
Yeah.
no, that's kind of my point is like
I mean, he
there's a
could get
couple
into that
guys.
conversation when you talk about like maybe the top 8 and you got four of those guys being debated in the top five. Like you know what I mean. So you get that top eight, and outside of the four that you named, everybody else is like, depending on who you ask, can be the fifth.
Correct. Because I feel like receiver is a little more fluid than people give it like credit for, or people think. Now, this is the ultimate outlier, right? I don't know where niggas had in real time Randy Moss coming off of Oakland. Like, niggas still knew Randy was talented, but obviously he just had a bad season with the Raiders, and the Raiders were ass. And then I know exactly where niggas had Randy Moss rated after '07. And so it's like, I feel like they're, now again, that's arguably the greatest receiving season ever. So this is an outlier. But like, you can jump up. Like, if AJ Brown comes out and has 1,700 yards and gets like 17 touchdowns, like that, he's going to start, like, people going to entertain that conversation, especially because he's already has.
That ain't never been his ceiling though. Like, to even think he's going to put those numbers up.
What's AJ's best year? I don't actually know off the top of my head. What's AJ?
Maybe the 14? First Philly season. Let me check.
Like, what do you have? 1,400.
He went first 2 years in Philly. He went essentially 1,511 tugs his first year, and then he went 1,456 and 7 touchdowns the next year. Now, in 2022, he goes 88 catches for 1,500 yards. In 23, he goes 106 catches for less yards. So that lets you know, like, yeah, he's that's my point though. He's kind of like over this Philly shit after the second year. So for them to even win that Super Bowl is kind of miraculous.
Mind you, this nigga went 67 for 1,000 the next year. Like, like this is.
I never blamed you. I get it. I really do.
So that's why, like, I get it. Like, that's not theoretic. Like, technically his ceiling, but like, is Drake May worth? So if his best season is basically 15 and 11, can he get to 16, 17, and let's call it 14 touchdowns with Drake? And is that enough to put him in some?
That would mean, I don't think so, because I don't think the offense is going to flow that way.
That's valid.
Yeah, I just don't think the offense is going to flow that way for him to put up those numbers. And athletically, he's not. Like, he's 29, but he's, as you mentioned with Josh, AJ's game is built on strength and physicality, not necessarily big separation, but being able to catch the 50-50 ball. So I just don't know if physically he can even get himself to that point. But he should still be a dominant receiver for what they need him to be.
No, that's fair. Like I said, I felt that was a more interesting convo than going, like, again, quarterback. I don't think Drake, barring, again, if Josh played like dirt and Drake got fucking MVP, Super Bowl MVP, like, even then I'm like, I don't know if I'd say he could pass him this year. Is there any other big storylines? Obviously, New England's the Super Bowl hangover, which Tony kind of addressed. I'll ask this one real quick before we get into the over-unders. Likelihood Josh finishes his career without a ring, in y'all opinion?
If I gotta scale it, right now I would say maybe like 3.5 to 4. Cause you can only get but so many chances. I think with people kind of group Josh and Lamar in the same vein, and it's just like, you can't really do that, because not many times in Lamar's playoff journey has he been, number one, on the better team, and number two, has he even gotten to that point. Like, if you look at Lamar Jackson, you go, 2018, he's kind of just playing on athleticism and figuring it out because he's thrown in there, and they may have been favored by Vegas. I don't know. I wasn't like tracking odds at that point. In that Chargers game, I don't know if they're the favorite to win that game. 19, obviously they're the favorite to beat Tennessee, and they dropped the ball there. They weren't the favorite in 2020. They were a wild card team. I don't think they were favored against Tennessee in the wild card round, and they weren't favored against a better Buffalo team in Buffalo. 2021, he gets hurt, they miss the playoffs. 2022, he gets hurt, they miss the playoffs. 23, okay, that's your chance. AFC Championship game at home, you lose to Kansas City. That's your first real shot at it.
That's
24,
fair.
they lose in Buffalo. They were favored in Buffalo, but they didn't. They lost in just like the weirdest way, with Mark Andrews kind of dropping the 2 point conversion. 2025, last year they don't make the playoffs. He's hurt. They struggle. They miss the field goal. They don't get to that point. Josh has lost multiple AFC Championship games. He's lost multiple games as a home favorite. So I don't I don't know. I'm not going to say Josh never wins a ring because I got too much respect for Josh to say that, but it's kind of more on the side of he doesn't than he does at this point.
Send that to Ravens Twitter once you get the clip together, Justin.
So no, Tony's nice. Tony's nicer than I am because here's my thing with Josh. And I put out the video again like a week and a half ago. I'm like, Josh ain't a Hall of Famer if he retired today. I'm aware we all incorporate the fact of like we think he's gonna play at this level for a handful of more years, in which case he would get there. But Josh has two things working against him. Yes, were you the guy mostly losing to Mahomes? Sure. Like that is your place in history, and there's always gonna be that guy. Josh also, and this is kind of to like the stat niggas, fuck you, Carson. The people that are like Josh Allen is a great playoff quarterback. Josh Allen is a great wild card quarterback. Like when because now some of that is not his fault. They literally changed how seeding works, right? So Josh, a lot of these years has been a 2 seed. That would have gotten you a bye in many years, because if you look at Josh Allen post the wild card round, and this is a Hall of Famer, and I like this nigga because my team won a Super Bowl with him. There's a lot more Peyton Manning in his playoff resume than there is this like Josh has almost 4,000 yards in the playoffs and he's got 30 something touchdowns. You're like, man, look how great he is. And I'm like, okay, he's busted the Steelers, I think twice. He whooped Denver when Denver made the playoffs 2 years ago in the 7th seed. Busted Denver's ass. Cool. But if you're great in the wild card round and then you're not great in the divisional round, again, niggas killed Peyton every year for this because Peyton always had a bye. So it's like, oh, we see you get a bye, you don't play, and then as soon as you do play, you shit the bed. And Josh has a lot more of that than I think people realize. Again, great quarterback. No one is disputing that. But I think his playoff resume is not accurate if you just look at the numbers. And a lot of people want to just look at the numbers and go, oh, look, Josh is great. I'm like, no. Again, you lose to Mahomes. I don't really hold that against you. The 13-second game was crazy. If you want to put that on Sean McDermott, fine. Some of this other shit, though, like, bro, he is a good playoff quarterback at best. He is not a great playoff quarterback. He is, yeah. And I can send that one to Bill's Twitter. That I don't give a fuck. Like, there's like 13 of y'all. Like, y'all really weren't even like around before Josh Allen. Like, y'all niggas were around now for JP Lossman. So that's again. I think there is. I'm not gonna say Josh doesn't finish career with a ring, but I am very much in the camp of like Josh, Lamar, Burrow, like somebody's not getting a ring. And so if you told me at the end of the career that's Josh, he's the guy that didn't win one, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my gosh, how did we not see that coming? And because he might have
probably be two
best teams.
There's gonna probably be two that don't get a ring.
Absolutely. And so it's like, again, somebody, and this isn't to discredit them or like say like they didn't have a good career, like Phillip Rivers never got a ring. Phillip Rivers has Hall of Fame numbers. If you want to say he's a Hall of Famer or not, different convo, but he's got Hall of Fame numbers. Drew Brees has damn near every record imaginable. That nigga got one. And he played for fucking damn near 20 years. So it's like, Peyton's only got two. So it's not this like presumptuous thing of like just because you great. Aaron Rodgers only got one. Like niggas sometimes only get one or they get zero.
So. It's interesting because it's like Burrow will be the one to get it.
Burrow might have already missed his chance. Like that year.
I mean, I think you could. Yeah, I think because they've been to the Super Bowl and we talk all the time about how hard it is to make it back, but. Is he the only, like when you talk about like the only one that's beat like all of them, like in the playoffs? Well, I mean,
I don't
outside
know
of
if Burrow and
Mahomes.
Lamar have ever played in the playoffs, but Burrow's beaten Josh. He's beaten Patrick. I don't know if him and Lamar, off the top of my head, they've
Well,
ever
yeah,
played
because
in the playoffs.
He beat Pat to get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That fraud beat Tyler
Tony
Huntley.
got that stat. Tony, I was gonna say Tony got that stat.
He beat who?
He beat Tyler Huntley in the playoffs. Lamar was hurt, and Tyler Huntley fumbled the football at the 1 yard line. As was it Sam Hubbard? As Sam Hubbard proceeded to chug it 99 yards for the go-ahead score.
So that's the thing. That, like, Burrow will be the one. Like,
Joe's not a fraud. He's talking shit.
Yeah, no, he will be the one that, like, because as unhealthy as he's been and as ass as the Bengals have been, he'll have a healthy season, and all of a sudden they're back in the Super Bowl or some wild shit like that.
Yeah.
But to that point, though, is he capable of that? Like, is he like
a healthy season?
We've gotten him in 2022 a healthy season, 2021 healthy season. They go to the Super Bowl, lose to Stafford and those guys. 2022, they're a game away from going back to the Super Bowl. Since that point, they haven't made the playoffs, and he hasn't played at least a 14-game season since. So it was one of those things where it's like
2 years ago, because he went crazy 2 years ago.
In 24, did he miss 2 games?
I think he only missed. I want to say because 2024 was the year like niggas had.
No, 2024 he went crazy. That's what I was saying. I wasn't sure how many.
I don't remember his total game count, but because that was the year because Denver just got back to the playoffs, and I remember that Saturday night game. I never. That nigga was fucking. Man, he was lighting everybody the fuck up.
Yeah, and I was my first. He plays 17 games in 2024, but they went 9-8. he killed, but they went 9-8. So it's just like, to Will's point, would I be surprised if the Bengals got back to the Super Bowl with that offense and kind of the experience? No, I wouldn't. But I just don't even see him being able to stay healthy that long to get to that point.
That nigga took 48 sacks that year.
And that's the thing.
That was so infuriating. That nigga's not scared.
Mind you, the nigga took 48 sacks and threw for damn near 5,000 yards. He had 4,900 yards.
He got his shit back. Like, that Saturday night game, Denver sacked him like 6 times. And
he plays in a way where it's kind of crazy that they even... It's crazy he was even able to play that many games considering how much he gets hit.
It's only... So, like, but looking at his stats, though, I think it's crazy. Like, so even for that season, like, he was sacked 48 times. His completion percentage was 7. He had a 70% completion percentage. Threw for damn near 5,000 yards.
43 touchdowns.
Under 10 interceptions. I mean, yeah, under 10 interceptions. That's crazy.
He plays football in a way that they don't play football anymore.
He's the only, like, Stafford. Now, Stafford's obviously, like, at the end of his career, but, like, they're the two guys, so it's, like, no mobility, and, like, you straight with it. Like, you don't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, let this nigga go back, throw this bitch. And it's crazy because now the Bengals, retrospectively, there was not a wrong pick. But I do wonder because of Joe's injury history, like, should you have taken Sewell over Chase? They're both all pros. They're both arguably the best at their position. There's no wrong pick here.
You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. If Jamar Chase was the 4th best wide receiver, maybe you could talk about it. He's arguably the best. To many people, he is the best. I still say Justin, and just because like the quarterback shit ain't in his control. But Jamar Chase is arguably the best wide receiver in football. So it's like, no, they made the right choice.
For sure.
Yeah, they've up this. Both the niggas crazy. Patriots at what the fuck they at? 9.5.
Under 9 wins.
Over.
I got them over as well. Do that. There we go. The Bills, 10.5. The second highest.
Over.
I got them at 11. I'm just over here double checking my schedule, making sure I say the right things. So everybody got them over. Okay. I'll just be real. Jets and Dolphins I both got under, but the Jets is at 5.5. Tony might pick the Jets to go over 5.
What did they win last year?
He was. He
Oh
was.
no, they won 3 last year. I think the Dolphins won. I might have 5.5.
The Dolphins have the lowest over/under in the league, or they're tied
The
with
Dolphins.
another team for the lowest over/under in the league.
Last year, I remember picking the Jets to get 6 wins, and I was very wrong. I'll be very wrong again. I'll go over.
I think
I
I'm going
think
over too.
I think the Jets.
I ain't look at their schedule either, but I'm gonna go over.
I think the Jets can
Going
get six
under as
wins.
hell.
They got 2 off the Dolphins
are
already.
4.5.
Under. The under is under.
The
Another
Dolphins
Get ready.
schedule I didn't look at.
4.5 wins.
Get ready to learn Dante Moore. Get ready to learn CJ Carr.
How long is how many years is Malik Willis's deal?
3 for 66.
Is it a fugazi 3?
Oh,
Perfect.
absolutely. I don't remember the exacts, but it's absolutely it's a no, that nigga's getting paid to go get hit for about a year, and then it's like,
Yeah,
all right,
nah,
once this is over, like we can move, we can all separate.
That ain't like that ain't money to where we can't get rid of you.
No, it's a fact. So we got the signing bonus for 22. He got his 45 guaranteed. So they've only got to do 20. They're only on the hook because NFL is the dumbest league ever and niggas can't get fully guaranteed. If they cut him after this year, that's 23. They only got to pay him another $22 million. So I say that like it's money, not that much. But
Oh no, he'll get two out of the 3.
them niggas get Dante Moore, man, and it's gonna be real quick for Malik Willis in Miami. He might be a backup, like.
It depends because if they still ass, they're not gonna let they rookie get killed.
They ain't.
Keep hitting.
They're
Keep hitting
not
this nigga.
starting either immediately.
Yeah, keep hitting this nigga for another year.
Dante
Let's-
Moore or
let's see y'all
Arch
in
wouldn't be
2028.
starting day 1 for Miami.
That's heading over to the AFC North. So the obvious one, look, Browns fans, I'm sorry, man, but y'all might really have to like pick like a different thing to do during the season, like just at least for like the first.
No, hold on. We not doing this. No, that's not what we about to do. That's not what we about to do. Because if you think we going to no, now if we finish with the AFC West, it got to be earned. We're not just going to finish with the AFC West because you want to. So we flipping the coin.
All right, fine, we go.
We
All right,
are
let's go
going
to
to flip
the
the
AFC
coin.
West.
Here's the
We
tails.
go to the AFC West.
Okay.
I got Chiefs hate to get
Like-
off. I'm down with that. Yeah, so I'll start here. I'll go real quick because I think most of my opinions are. So the Raiders, they starting Kirk Cousins. Good luck. I think the Raiders have again like Genti. It looks like the injury's not as serious. It looks like it's a sprained ankle. Brock Bowers I think is great, but you got your quarterback situation until Mendoza's there. This is gonna be the last place team. I think this is confidently the last place team. My biggest issue with the AFC West is I think the conversations around all 3 are just who people like, and it's odd to me. So, for example, the Chargers, it's Tony said, who was the player you mentioned earlier? You're like, they're hurt and they're not even telling us why. You said that about somebody.
Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce. All right. Anybody like read anything on Rashawn Slater? Like Rashawn Slater hasn't practiced. Rashawn Slater hasn't been in the preseason, and niggas don't even say Rashawn Slater is hurt no more. They just like, yeah, he's not there. Like we just don't know what's going on with Rashawn Slater. They already lost their starting center. Joe Walt has come back. I think Joe Walt and Rashawn Slater are really good players. I don't
I don't
think
know
they
if losing
are.
Biotish is like a big thing because they want to make it seem to be.
I don't think so either. But Chargers fans are ready with excuses. As soon as that news broke, I got my niggas don't even text me unless it's about the Chargers, and so I was, man, it's happening again, and it's like, all right, nigga, deal with it. Like y'all the Chargers, this is what you do. Y'all went to San Francisco to do a fucking joint practice with the team everybody says stay the fuck away from. Like, Joe Walt and Rashawn Slater again. Slater's not even practicing. Joe Walt, I think, is a really good left tackle.
He was limited on the 22nd. He didn't
So
practice the 23rd or the 25th.
Joe Walt's a good player. I don't think Joe Alt is at this stage in his career. Maybe he gets there in another year or so. Let's see it. But like, I don't think that's the same as like Trent Williams being back for San Francisco. I don't think it's the same as Deion Dawkins being there for Buffalo. Like, he's not like a top
Those two of
three,
the
top
best
four
left
left
tackles in the
tackle.
league.
That's what I'm saying. But like, all I've heard from Charger fans is like, yo, once our O-line is back, cool. I think the defense with the Chargers, if the whole conversation is, man, Mike McDaniel's going to lock this offense. Okay, so we're going to talk about y'all losing one of the best DCs, and how is that going to affect your defense? Nah, our defense is going to be fine. I bet. And how much, and I get it, Tua stinks. Cool. Mike McDaniel got a
Has
top
Jim
tier offense
Harbaugh
out of
ever
Tua.
had like a shit defense though?
Does Jim Harbaugh have had a shit defense? No, but if you look at the defense that he had in San Francisco was loaded before he got there. Like, he had Justin Smith, he had Patrick Willis, he had Navarro Bowman. Like, they had guys. They were bad, which is obviously why they hired him. But like, they had dudes on that roster. With the Chargers, it was okay, and then Jesse Minter took it to another level. So we'll see how that works. And again, Khalil Mack just apparently is going to be good at football until he's 95. Cool. The rest of the Chargers roster is not crazy defensively. And again, just let's have just at least the convo of like, all right, if McDaniel we think is going to unlock this offense, then we got to have questions about Minter on defense. Even if you think it's going to be good, I don't think it's just a foregone conclusion. B, my Charger hate. Herbert got to win something. Like, we can't just keep saying this man is like this, that, and the third, and it's like you ain't got no playoff games, and you're not just bad in the playoffs. You got 4 picks, you got blowing a 30-point lead, you got scoring 3 points in New England, and your honorary 4th playoff game, niggas had to tie with the Raiders. Just tie. And they fucked that up, and the Raiders kicked the field goal and kicked them out of the playoffs. Like, you are. So, just get one with the Herbert shit. With the Chiefs, I got nothing bad to say about Mahomes. I don't like Mahomes. Niggas got my birthday. Everybody knows that. The Chiefs are relying on...
Stop bringing that shit up like it's a step. Don't nobody care about y'all niggas having the same birthday.
It hurts my heart, though, so I got to do it. The Chiefs are relying on a left tackle who we're not sure about his situation. He obviously had a family situation that they really didn't want to disclose. That's fine, but a left tackle who's basically going to be a rookie. You've got a right tackle, which you've never really solved.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
That nigga missed half the season.
But the Josh Simmons thing, that's not like Josh Simmons is not a rookie though. It's not like he wasn't there at all.
He literally left during the season, was not practicing, was not with the team. And again, I'm not here to like rip the reason, because if the reason's personal, I'm not here to attack him personally.
For sure.
I'm just saying, like, you weren't there. You got a right tackle situation you haven't resolved. Yes, Creed Humphrey, if you want to say he's the best center in football, or at worst the second best center, you got that. Trey Smith is good at right guard. You're relying still on Travis Kelce in what's going to be his last season. He's old. You are relying on Rashee Rice, who I don't deny Rashee Rice is. Huh?
I said, are they? I hope not for their sake.
Well, like this is who you got around them, and it's, I get it. Mahomes is Mahomes, but the roster ain't there. You just lost Trent McDuffie on defense, where you replaced him with a high draft pick at corner, but we got to see how that pans out. Chris Jones, arguably, is probably still your best defensive player, which ain't a great situation to be. I'm gonna even say I don't think Chris Jones is as washed as Travis Kelce as a tight end. So like, I still think Chris Jones can be a really good player for them this year. But there's a lot of issues with the Chiefs. Mahomes isn't playing in the preseason. I think you got a really rough schedule, especially to start. Yeah, I'm just not there with them. And the only thing I'm gonna say about Denver, because I don't want to spend the whole time arguing about Denver, I think Denver's in the wrong conversation, which is Denver's been getting put in this convo with like the Bears, the Jaguars, the Patriots, of these teams where it's like, oh, you did it once, let's see you do it again. Denver has made the playoffs 2 years in a row. And that is different than all of those other teams. Chicago's on 1 year making the playoffs. The Jags are on 1 year making the playoffs. The Patriots are on 1 year making the playoffs. Denver's in a different situation. And so whether, again, niggas only got to like Bo Nix. And I know a lot of niggas don't. And that's fine. But O-line, defense, the receiving core, which is, it ain't Cincinnati. It's not Uh, Dallas, it's not like the top end. It's not that. But Sutton and Waddle are proven 1,000-yard receivers. Uh, the one thing that I do is J.K. Dobbins is cross your fingers, hope he's healthy. He's obviously really good when he's there, but to act like he's going to be there a full season, that's more fan shit than anything else. But I think Denver's clearly got the best roster in the division. I think coaching is a toss-up in this division with the exception of like matchups because Jim Harbaugh does just bust Sean Payton's ass. So I got Denver's first loss at the Chargers because Chargers I actually think sweep Denver. Part of that is a technicality because they play in Week 18, and I just don't think that game's going to matter. But I think the Chargers sweep them. Um, yeah, man. I think Denver's going to be really good. I don't think this division has – the Chargers, to me, are borderline playoff team, but I also would be shocked if this division only has one playoff team. I don't think the Chiefs or Raiders make it. So that is my AFC West rant. Whoever want to follow up.
I'll go real quick. I'll just rank them real quick, and then I'll let Tony go. And then all that shit you just said, Justin, make sure you clip that up and send that to Broncos Twitter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll send the shit to Chargers Twitter, too. But the Charger fans get upset. They're like, well, we just injured. I'm like, well, y'all niggas injured every year.
I mean, they'll catch you outside, so do with that as you may. So I got the Broncos winning the division.
Justin, you know your camera's off?
My camera's off?
It's been stuck like this for like... I can't see it. Let me come back and rejoin. It might be me.
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you fine. Yeah, I see you fine. I hear you fine. See you talking. All of that stuff. You good? Where did you have them ranked?
So I go Denver 1. I go Chargers 2, Chiefs 3, Raiders 4.
I might have it the same way. I don't.
That's how I got it.
I think I got it the same way. What up, Warden? Tell the Warden we said, what's the deal?
They say hi.
No, tell her what we said, nigga. Give her the headphones. Give her the headphones.
Top shotter.
I just want to tell her I like the program she running over there. Like she's standing on business, keeping niggas in check. Like I fuck with it.
How many playoff teams? Because y'all, so if we agree on the order, how many playoff teams y'all think are in this division? I know Tony's high on the Chargers.
2 and a possible.
I think 2 are in this division. I don't see possible, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Chiefs, the fall from grace for the Chiefs. It's just, I love to see it.
It may not be possible, but it's almost like I got to see Mahomes not do it.
That's fair. I don't mind that opinion.
Like I'm giving him that to say like, all right, I got to see you not do it.
That I'm not mad at.
See, until that point, we just seen it. The game he got hurt was the game they got eliminated from the playoffs. It's not like they were fucking 9 wins. He got hurt and they fell off. Like no, they stunk with him. Like, and
that I also agree
like
with.
It's just the offense is just not creative. It's weird because they were so ahead of the curve. They saw everything before everybody else did when it came to running the offense. And for the last 2, at the very least for the last 2 years, this has just been a boring team that lacks creativity offensively, especially when defense is getting so much better.
You think it's time for Andy Reid to bring somebody in?
I think it's not for Andy Reid to get out, but that's.
That's definitely.
I don't know if I would give up Mahomes.
Option.
I'd have to see like another year of Mahomes be bad before I give up like that job. Like that'd be tough to say. Like, all right, I'm gonna walk away from this.
No,
but I'm saying like you bring in one of these.
But I think
I'm saying you bring in one of these young offensive minds and kind of take some of that.
If I'm the Chiefs and I have another year, like I've been having, specifically offensively, and I look over at Denver, and Davis Webb does what I think Denver's offense is going to do, that's the first call I'm making. It's the first call I'm
Man, I
making.
would
Or
agree.
if the Ravens offense performs as in the way I expect them to, especially later on in the season, I'm calling
Doyle.
Declan Doyle. Like
Yeah.
I and this is all if, like I said, this is all if the Chiefs have another year that just lacks creativity and lacks explosiveness, I can't keep doing this because you're wasting away at Mahomes, and you're going to find yourself in a spot where the shit ain't fun no more. And when shit stop being fun, that's when those conversations start happening. Now, how long I gotta keep doing this until I'm out of here?
That's well, Mahomes is you can
Are you
lose so
saying you
much in the
calling Declan
NFL.
Doyle like for a head coaching job?
Yeah,
That was I would hate that because it's like history repeating itself. Because that was literally all. It was the thing that irritated me so much about the Chiefs' run is I'm like, why are niggas not poaching their coaching staff? Like Spags being there the whole run was just crazy to me. Bieniemy allowed to be there for the majority of the run was so crazy to me because but right before Mahomes, like Denver, when the last couple years of Peyton, they kept taking Denver's coaches every fucking year. Like Adam Gase got a head coaching job, and all I heard about Adam Gase is he was dog shit. But it was like Denver lost so many coaches to the division, and I was just like, bro, ain't nobody gonna ask Kansas City for. That always pissed me
but
off.
that's a product of everybody feeling like these guys are only good because they're attached to Reed. If they weren't attached to Reed, they wouldn't be doing the things they're doing. And Bieniemy kind of
Niggas was
showed us
taking
that that was
Peyton
true.
Manning's OC. I don't even know what Peyton Manning's OC did. Like,
It was a different league, man. It was a different league then.
I
Did
just
they even have concussion protocol back then? That wasn't even a
no.
thing,
You
was
see
it?
how them niggas? You see how them niggas
Allegedly.
fucking flipped Peyton? You ever rewatch Peyton's last hit in Indy? Niggas
I
crushed him
watched
like a
Peyton.
sandwich.
I watched Peyton throw them balls to Austin Collie, try to end his life. I did see that.
Hey, man. Oh shit. I'll ask the question, I guess, because again, the Chiefs are the premier team still as it stands in the AFC West. Obviously, they've got the best history going on the last decade. Again, even if I think other teams have passed them, they're still the premier team. Over under 1.5 more Super Bowls for Mahomes.
Under.
Under.
I think I'm there, which then, if Mahomes, I guess I'll two-part this. So he's got 3. He's got 5 trips, 3 wins, and ironically, the 2 he's lost, like he's gotten whooped.
Got his ass beat.
Yeah. If this is his resume, where is he? Because like I feel, and I'm not just trying to hate. I'm trying to like be as genuine as I can. I do feel like we pushed Mahomes to like second best quarterback ever a little too fast, and so like if he ends at 3, to me right now, like the 4 greatest quarterbacks ever, and I think he is in that. I think it's Brady, not this exact order, but Brady, Manning, Montana, and him. If he finishes at 3, though, like, is he still ahead of Montana? Because Joe's got 4, and Joe was whooping ass in Super Bowls. Like, Joe was not just, like, winning. Like,
Best
he was...
quarterbacks. I hate to say this, I really do, because he's scum, but like Aaron Rodgers is better than Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning got 5 MVPs and 2 rings, bro.
Aaron Rodgers got 4 in the ring.
I know 5 and 2 when Peyton's got 4 trips. Rodgers only got 1.
I think
Aaron Rodgers won that Super Bowl.
Okay, Peyton's
Aaron Rodgers is one of the best. Is probably, arguably, like the most talented quarterback to like.
No, he is, but that's where again, and it's.
So, but I mean, like that's.
I
I mean,
when
and I
you
think
get into that. Because Brady's got
like,
some, like, the first 3, no one's going to be like, oh, Brady won that bitch.
I disagree.
No
I disagree. I disagree.
Adam Vinatieri got 2 game-winning field goals, and the defense held the greatest show on turf to, like, fucking, like, 10 or 13 points.
Yeah,
and he's got another one against the Rams late where they held them niggas to 3. in the fucking worst. Of course,
Oh
I
no,
hosted
you
that Super
carried
Bowl.
me to my 5th Super Bowl. Oh no.
I'm aware, but like Brady definitively, like the Falcons Super Bowl hits different, right? Like we agree, like that hits different than the other ones.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
can hit different, but that
Um,
don't mean the other ones ain't true. Also,
Aaron Rodgers
no, they're
beat the
all true.
Steelers. He beat the 2010 Steelers defense. That got to count for something.
That's a flex. Peyton
He beat James Harrison, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark, Lamar Woodley.
Peyton beat MVP Cam Newton.
All right,
shut the
man.
fuck
Spin out the mud.
up.
Hey man, hey, no, look, I've already said that take. That Peyton Manning is the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers
But
kicked the Bears' ass for a long time. Aaron Rodgers is
I mean,
Rodgers is one of the greatest.
no,
Well, we know he's one of the
absolutely in
greatest.
that
I mean, he's
conference.
one of the greatest, but I'm not mad at a nigga saying like he's better than Peyton Manning. Like obviously accolades wise, you could say
They're both
Peyton Manning has more accolades. You could say, you know, when you talk about better versus greater, we've talked about that on here before, to where you could say Peyton Manning is greater because he won more, because he got more accolades, but that don't necessarily mean you're the better player.
Peyton also has, which is unique. He is the guy for that. Like he's the poster child for it. I give him points for that. And so it to me, I'm biased because Peyton won a title with my favorite team. But it's like if you could have a real conversation, Peyton versus Rodgers. Like that's not crazy to me. I would say right now, if Mahomes stops at 3, I think I revert back to Brady and Montana are definitively 1 and 2. I think Mahomes could be in convo for 3. I think those 3 guys would probably be my respect to Johnny Unitas and Otto Graham for y'all niggas having like a million NFL championships. But that would be probably my top 5 quarterbacks. Because I think he's already better than Breeze, even if he stops at 3. I think he's already better than. I'm trying to think of like all-time guys he passed in these last couple years.
Yeah, man.
Who else is in? My man. Oh, he's better than Elway. I don't know if that's who we're referencing as my man's.
It is.
Okay. And
Uh,
John got to 5, which was impressive, but he got his ass whooped in 3 of the 5. Like whooped.
yeah,
Like
it's not a lot of guys to where they can even match up to him, to put it to where it's like he has to be compared to them.
yeah.
Um,
I think that's the solid top 5. I just think I think after that the last one against San Francisco, I feel like niggas had him at 2. Like that was a pretty consensus opinion. Like, oh, he's gonna catch Brady, or like
I still have him at 2. I just like he's done too much for me to be like, no, I kind of got to reassess it. Now, the thing for me, and I'll get to this, I do think that if one of these guys in his class wins one, I think people will weigh that versus his 3 in a different way. I think one for Josh will be weighed the same as his 3. I think one for Lamar will be weighed the same as his 3 because of, like we mentioned, because of the statistics of it all and how it looks. Because I think how it looks for them is different than how it's looked for him over the last few years.
I think that applies to Lamar and Josh. I don't know if I think that applies to Burrow.
No, no, I
I
don't. I
don't
only
think
meant Lamar and I only meant Lamar and Josh.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I'm riding with that. Um, Lamar is really interesting because if Lamar, like, let's say this year, like, if Lamar gets another MVP and the Ravens win a title, you're gonna have that.
I'll be back.
Stylistically, it's very different, but it very much is that like Peyton Rogers shit, where it's like, okay, Lamar's gonna be 1 title to Patrick's 3, but he's gonna be 3 MVPs to his 2, and Lamar is so unique in the way that he plays, like not just being a running quarterback, but like he is the what is it, Madden '06, I think is a game where like Michael Vick was just crazy. Like then he had like 99 speed and could just run around, do whatever with him. Like that's literally Lamar. And so I do think for him specifically, even more than Josh, I would say, you'd start having different conversations, especially because he doesn't have multiple losses to Mahomes in the playoffs. Whereas Josh, if Josh got a ring but didn't beat Mahomes in the playoffs, I don't know if that's having quite the impact. He beats him, different convo, but for Lamar, I could definitely see it.
Even still, I don't even know if it hit the same like at this point where the Chiefs are now, where they're not as good as they were. Like it's not like you beat a peak.
Yeah, him in his prime.
You know what I mean? Like you're not. It ain't like you beat a peak Chiefs team.
Nah, his peak is still like Mahomes' peak is still. And see, I think peak is a different quarterback conversation because like I actually don't think Brady's got the greatest peak ever. For me, peak is it's exactly I think just Mahomes and Rodgers because whatever Rodgers was doing, whatever his choice of drug was during 2011 to 2013, like I don't know if I've ever seen a nigga just throw a football like that. And so that and like Rodgers doing back shoulder, like if you were young, go watch YouTube. Aaron Rodgers was doing back shoulder throws, but they were like 30, 40 yards down the field. And I just don't think people understand how insane that is. Like, it's not like a 10-yard out. It's like, oh, man, he put it only where his receiver could get it. Like, no, this nigga was running for his life. I still remember the Chargers throw. Running to his right and just back shouldered that bitch like 50 yards downfield to Jordy Nelson. And I'm just like, what do you do with that? And Mahomes also has that.
Used to be hooping.
He did. But Jordy Nelson don't have Jordy Nelson's career without Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers would have been fine without Jordy Nelson. Respectfully to Jordy Nelson. Mahomes is again. I'm just glad it's over. That's what I gotta say.
To the
for the AFC.
Oh. Before we get to the over-unders, like just to go in about the Chargers and the Broncos a little bit. The Broncos, like I said, I think that at right now the Broncos and the Ravens would be my AFC Championship game. Obviously, we'll talk about that and predictions and stuff like that, but very high on the Broncos after the Waddle move. I think that kind of solidifies a lot of what they lacked, which is a guy. I think I liked Cortland Sutton as a one, but I do think that he's just he's just going to be much better as a high end too. And we talked about how great the defense is. I don't see a reason why that changes. And then when we look at the Chargers, I'm very high on the Chargers, like I talked about. I think that defense is still going to be able to hold up without Jesse. I don't know if it'll still reach I don't know if it has the same ceiling without Jesse, but I don't think its floor is that of a dog shit defense, especially still having Derwin, still having Thule. Deion Henley is really good, a more underrated player in the league, specifically when you think about defensive guys. And like we talked about, Khalil Mack is just going to keep on doing this until he doesn't want to do it anymore. No. I think Mike McDonald is going to unlock a lot for Herbert. It comes down to the offense for sure, but when you have and Hakeem Mesidor also was a really good pick on the defensive side. But when you have a scheme guy like Mike McDaniel, and he's one of the offensive genius types, I think you can scheme around the offensive line lacking. So when we think about the Chargers interior, or if Rashawn Slater is going to, he's kind of hindered by injury and stuff like that, I think that's where McDaniel comes into play, and he's going to be really good for them. And I like a lot of what the Chargers got offensively. I think Omarion Hampton is going to kill this year. They got Keaton Mitchell from the Ravens, who I think can do really good in that run scheme of McDaniel. And Trey Harris, who I was high on out of Ole Miss, Ladd and Quentin Johnston, if he can continue what he was able to do last year, that's a really good receiving room to me. And the tight end room is good. The tight end room is a good, solid tight end room to have. So I think we are going to see the best Herbert, and that in turn will give us the best Chargers team this year that we've gotten.
Do you think they win a playoff game this year? Because that's really the only thing to be a successful season, like, because I give Herbert shit, but like Herbert is clearly one of like the more talented guys, so you gotta win while you got him.
Right.
Do they win a playoff game this year?
I think they're going to be a wild card team, so they are going to be on the road. I don't think that really matters though, considering every game is a road game for them.
This is also true. Oh, so that's even a better question, because I think you and I think similarly. could they beat either Denver or Baltimore in the first round if we think those are the top 2 seeds? Because it'd be a 2-7 matchup. Well, no, I guess it could be 3-6, depending
Right.
on how you feel about. So it'd be, who do we have kind of these? So it's like it'd be beat the Bills and or Patriots, Denver and or Baltimore. It'd be
I
that's
don't
your most likely matchups.
I don't think they can beat Denver 3 times, and I don't think that they can come into M&T and beat the Ravens. But that's a matchup thing. I don't think that is a them thing.
So that's and I am, and I'm trying to be fair to the Chargers. I do look at the Chargers like I think matchup wise as head coach for whatever it is, Jim Harbaugh has had Sean Payton's number going back to San Francisco, New Orleans, and I think that matters for the regular season. I think roster wise though, I think Denver matches up really well against the Chargers. Um, but I also think Denver matches up really well with like a lot of teams this year. So there's no one I'm looking at. I'm like, oh damn, like we just don't got shit for them. Um, but a lot of that again, I do want to see
It'd be very funny if
McDaniels.
Jacksonville do the same thing again, and you're like, maybe we don't
That's
got shit
okay.
for them.
I have I have on the schedule when I was filling out my records, like I give Denver a loss to the Chargers because I do give Harbaugh that in the regular season. Jacksonville is my toss-up game. Like I feel more confident Denver hosts the Rams week 3 Sunday Night Football, and the Rams are you look at every sporting book, they're
That's a
the
good
best
game.
team in the league, right? And so, but I feel more confident in Denver beating the Rams in week 3 than I do of them playing the Chargers in week 6 or Jacksonville in week 2. And that's
Fair.
just
Fair.
I just gotta be I gotta be honest. And so, but even like the Rams, I'm like, okay, what the Rams are great at, I feel Denver is also great at. The Rams are gonna have a great pass rush. Okay, Denver's got the best pass blocking offensive line in football. Do you double Myles Garrett? Absolutely. Is Garrett Bowles an All-Pro? Yes. You still double Myles Garrett. Is Puka great? Yes. Okay, you put Sertan on him. And in the red zone, you Riley Moss in the safety and pray. Um, and again, you've got a great pass rush to push Stafford and the one part of the Rams that's not great, which is their offensive line. It's good, but it's not like a great unit. So
Devontae Adams might do
Jacksonville
some
will see.
crazy things to Riley Moss, man.
That's look, man. Every team's got them. Like they're like, oh, this dude's really killing it in camp. And so Denver has been Pat Bryant, and then they're like, oh, Riley's really gotten his shit together. And I'm like, I don't know what that means because I don't know how much refs are really blowing they whistle in training camp. So I'm like, it's not like the nigga can't cover; he just causes fouls. So it's like, are we sure? Like, how are we judging this? Um. So yeah, but again, I don't think the Chargers are a bad team. I have them just slightly missing the playoffs. But no, I'm sorry, I had the Chargers and no, because I put when I did the schedule, I had the Chargers just missing. But when I put them on the schedule, when I actually put out wins, they would, yeah, they itch in at the 7th seed. So I'm gonna correct myself from like 5 minutes ago. They do fit in at my 7th seed. But da, da, da. 4 over-unders, I think, is extremely disrespectful because the Vegas Sportsbooks has Denver as the 3rd team in this division, which I think is insane. Start with the Chiefs,
Which
who have
book
10
though?
and a half.
I'm
So
under
this
that.
is so I just when I do the Las Vegas ones, I'll be honest, I know that there are like other ones there, but there's like the big one they publish, and so that's the one
Mm-hmm.
I'm going off of. And so the Chiefs are favored to win the division, the Chargers are 2nd, and Denver's 3rd.
It's crazy. That's
Uh,
crazy.
it's the Chiefs have a 10 and a half over under. Like
That's crazy to me. But yeah, under.
Under.
the Chargers are at 9.5.
Over. We got the Chargers at 11 wins.
I'll go over.
No, hold on. I need to get this out, man. The Chiefs fucking stink. And like I really don't care about I really do not care if it's Patrick Mahomes. Like I don't give a fuck. The Chiefs stink. You're not gonna sit here and try to make me think taking this team with Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Tyquan Thornton and 36-year-old Travis Kelce, 37-year-old Travis Kelce is like better than Denver or the Chargers for that matter. Like I'm not gonna be fooled into this. It's not happening. No team can trade away some of their best players. No team can get rid of some of their best players and just assume they're like, oh yeah, we're going to be fine. Like Trent McDuffie is one of the 10 best corners in football. He's really fucking good at football. They are going to be worse defensively. Jalen
And
Watson
they
was
lost their
really
other
good.
corner.
Jalen Watson was
This-
really fucking good. They lost him too. They're not going to be better. Like this, no, this is just not how this works, bro.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of stock in just Mahomes and Reed on face value of like, are they the best quarterback head coach combo? I don't think they are anymore. They've obviously been that. Again, you can't take away what they've accomplished, but that's not. They're in such a different space in their career.
And on
right
top
now.
of all of this, Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL in like December, like
Yeah, now
November or
she was like,
December, bro.
They were with
Like,
6-8 when he did it, so yeah, because he only missed I think like 4 games total, or 4.5 if you want to count him going out.
yeah,
Like he played a good amount of the season.
like bro,
Uh,
this is crazy to me. Yes, under on the
Raiders-
Chiefs, over
Tony's
on the
Raiders
Chargers.
at 5.5.
It was fun while it lasted. Very much under, very much under on the Vegas Raiders.
What did I get? The Raiders? Did I get? Yeah.
Under.
Because
They
at
might get
five
to
and a half,
five.
I was about to say at 5.5, you're assuming this is a 6-win team. This is not a 6-win team.
Agreed. But I do like, again, I like some of the Raiders' personnel. Like, I do like Bowers. I do like Genty. I do think Fernando's going to be fine. Like, you got to get some other stuff, obviously, in there. But, like, this is the team who's going to be a year or two away from potentially being scary again.
The
Because
Raiders need to be-
Genty's injury wasn't serious, right?
No, it's just
his
as an
wasn't
ankle.
major.
yeah, as of
Yeah,
now.
no, primarily, there's no muscle tears, which was the big thing. So,
Okay.
The Raiders' focus right now needs to be on Charlie Becker, Jeremiah Smith, Cam Coleman. That is where their energy needs to be.
Shout out to Jeremiah Smith. And then Denver at 9.5.
Over. That is, I think Denver is going to win the most games in the AFC.
Over.
I'm there with you. Alrighty. Now moving back on to the AFC North.
Real football division.
Is that? I don't know if this is a real. Historically, yes. I don't know if Mr. Conspiracy, Mr. Horrible Person, and Mr. Maybe I get 10 games. If that's 3 of your 4 quarterbacks, I don't know if we got real football. Like,
I never said
got-
the healthiest football division. The most sensical.
the Browns and Bengals are in this division.
That is true. They are
Like,
there.
The Bengals still have niggas crossed. Hey man, like I don't know if I can say it on my. I'm like, I'm just gonna knock on wood. Like, good thing the Bengals haven't had like the craziest injury report ever. Like they make them niggas walk across the street to go to the stadium. The Browns, look, y'all starting him. I really don't have much else to say around that. I hope Shador gets some starts. Hope Shador gets a chance to prove himself. But it's the NFL. It's not quote unquote for being fair. I do think it's funny though that people are like, man, Shador's handling this really well, and I'm like, Shador's rich. Like even before the NFL, like some of this is like he knows he's good. This is not damn. My life is over if I'm not like the starting quarterback. So, you know, but shout out to him. I do hope he gets a chance to play. The Steelers, I do think Mike McCarthy is a better head coach than any of us really think. Like, he's got a good resume. Like, he's not a bad coach, I don't think. But I do feel like the Steelers, we're going to see Mike Tomlin, I think, we're going to see with the voodoo dolls and the duct tape and all this shit that's been holding it together for these last couple of years. I think we're going to see a lot of that untangle. And I don't think the Steelers will be terrible, but I think we are going to have a non-winning season. Like, the Steelers are going to fall back into what they probably should have been a couple years ago. And who knows? Maybe niggas will actually draft a quarterback and play someone under the age of 30 for the first time in a decade.
Yes.
The Bengals, I think, their schedule helps them so fucking much. the Bengals to me are clearly better than the bad teams, and that offense is gonna like they're gonna have some games where you look up and they scored 40 on teams and held them under 20, and it's like, damn, the Bengals are great. I don't like them in comparison to the other great teams. Like I don't think they match up well against Baltimore, against Denver, against even Buffalo and New England, but they're clearly better than the bad teams, and they're gonna get a lot of wins off of that. Is Joe Burrow gonna be healthy? Look, what I predicted for the Bengals schedule is I acted like Joe was going to be there for 17 games. If Joe's there for 17 games, I think they have a real chance with their schedule to win 11, 12 games. I don't think Joe's going to be there for 17 games, and so they're a very high variance team to me. But that offense is crazy. Uh, like just Chase, Higgins, and Joe Burrow. If you line them up, they could put the three of us on the offensive line. Them niggas could still probably get 30 points, and Joe would get sacked just the same amount. So, and then the Ravens. I do think the Ravens are the best team in this division. The same way I'm critical, or I'm not as high on the Chargers defense taking that step back because of Jesse Minter. I think he's going to do great with the Ravens. Like the Ravens have the most guys on their defense who have been an All-Pro at some point in their career, and Calais Campbell's a little funny. He's obviously old and has played forever, but otherwise, like Roquan's been there. He's still relatively close to his prime. Is he 30? Did he just turn 30?
Yeah, give or take 30, 31.
Okay. Like him, Hamilton, Imadabike's back. Like this is I think the amount of talent plus Jesse Minter's scheme. I think the Ravens are going to get back to being what they've been, which is a historically great defense as a franchise. Lamar, this offense. Lamar's been he should be a three-time MVP for a reason. He's one of the three best quarterbacks in football, in my opinion. Like I think their offense is going to get back to normal. Derrick Henry, I just don't think you can bet against. We talk about Khalil Mack is just going to be good until he finally stops. Derrick Henry is going to be great until he finally just figures out he doesn't want to go to the gym no more. And I don't know when that day is going to be. So when Derrick Henry's like, fuck the gym, then the fall off. Until that day, he is still one of the 3 or 4 best running backs at worst. This is a huge bounce back season for Baltimore. So, and I think the division takes a step back, so I think they have a really good chance to stack up wins. They're the one team I think, again, I also like Denver's schedule, and obviously I think really highly of them. I do think Baltimore can challenge them for the most wins, and so I think they're going to get 2 wins off the Browns, 2 wins. I think they get 2 wins off the Steelers. I think they split with Cincinnati, and then Tony and I kind of joked about it last week. There will be, and Tony's the reason I believe in this because he says this. He's like, there will be one stupid ass game. So like one of these that it's like, oh, they should win that. They will not. But even with that being said,
that was a long, dark time ago when we had a certain buffoon roaming the sidelines. That day does not exist anymore.
And if they really clean that up, then yes, they've got a real chance to get the 1 seed because they will start stacking up wins. But I think this is, again, this is a 2 playoff team because I think the Bengals schedule breaks easy if Joe Burrow was healthy, which I wish you the best, Bengals fans, I guess.
I'm really interested to see the over-unders once we get to that point for this division, actually.
The over-under.
Like, just based on, like, and I mean, I'm just going off where everybody finished last year. Like, I wonder what those numbers are going to be.
I think this is the second highest over-under totals for any division. I think only the NFC North was higher.
Not the West.
No, because the AFC West. Oh, so AFC and NFC West, the Raiders and Cardinals bring it down pretty big.
They bring it down a lot. That's fair.
And again for the AFC West, while they do give Kansas City 10.5, both the Chargers and Broncos are 9.5. It's close because they got the Niners. The Niners at 10.5 is also insane to me. But 10.5.
That makes a lot of sense to me personally.
22, 33, 37. Might be tied with them because just the Cardinals only at 4.5 is a big blow to the NFC West. Before Tony gives, since obviously this is his division, Will, you got anything on the AFC North?
Not really. I mean, I'll rank them, I guess, before we do the over-unders. I mean, I got Baltimore finishing first, and I agree with you when you talk about them being able to kind of stack up some wins. The Bengals second. I think the Steelers are going to be really bad. Not worse than the Browns though, but really bad. Um, so I'll go Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. Uh, and honestly, I don't even think I looked at any of their schedules for the
Cincinnati's
North.
got a really nice schedule. Like again,
The
if
the
Joe stays
Bengals and the
healthy,
Ravens have the funniest schedules.
I'm pulling up Cincinnati's right now.
because they get a couple stretches where it's like I can see them putting together like 5, 6 wins in a row. Now Cincinnati does have in its first 3 games they go to Houston and to Pittsburgh, so there's a real chance Cincinnati starts off 1-2, and they've always kind of struggled to start the season. Last year I think funny enough they started 2-0, then lost 4 straight. But if they're normal bad beginning of the season, they could potentially lose to Tampa, Houston, and Pittsburgh all in the first 3 weeks, and then they start 0-3, and it's Joe's got to throw for another 5,000 yards to get to 500. So what's the
After that, it looked like some greener pastures.
no? It definitely does. No, if their schedule opens up where it's like they're gonna have a stretch. Like I can see the headline now. It's like, damn, Bengals won 5 in a row. Are they the best? Like, can they win the North? Can they be the best team in the AFC? Like, they have a really good. That middle part of the schedule is really
Yeah,
favorable.
because I mean, like week 4 Jacksonville. What you got 5 Miami. You got the Ravens in week 7, and then you got the Titans. You got the Falcons. You got the Steelers again. You got the Commanders, Saints, Browns,
Kansas City,
Week
Chiefs,
6
Carolina.
bye could
Panthers.
be tough.
They're gonna have the Bengals will get a winning streak out of this schedule. It's just how do they handle the very end and the very beginning, and that's what's gonna kind of. I think the Ravens are better than them, but I think those records are going to be closer than people think because of the Bengals. What you think about the division, Tony?
I think that the division is funny for a lot of reasons, be it Aaron Rodgers still here at 43, 40, 48. Could tell me any age, I believe you.
That's your goat.
Cleveland is Cleveland is starting Deshaun Watson because he makes a lot of money and they can't cut him. They can't really have him back up. So they gotta start him, and they don't believe that their quarterback of the future is on the roster anyway. I think that I'll start with Cleveland. If you put here a if you put here Malik Willis, if you put here Geno Smith, if you put here just any other serviceable guy, if you will, I think they'd be looked at as a much better team than they are because there's a lot of talent here. The offensive line, I think, considering where they were going into the offseason versus what they go into this next regular season with, I think they've done a good job of putting together a competent offensive line, specifically drafting Spencer, um, signing Zion Johnson, signing Tevin Jenkins, bringing in Elton Jenkins from the Packers, who I liked a lot. Look at the receiving room. Jerry Judy's a bozo. Jerry Judy is just a complete bozo. But you
I
get
think he
Casey
could have had CJ
Concepcion,
Stroud.
you get Denzel Boston. Harold Fannin is a beast. Harold Fannin is just a beast of a tight end. So, and then defensively, obviously they trade Miles, but it's still a really good defense. Carson Schwarzenegger was really good for them. Mason Graham was fucking really good for them. Jared versus if I gotta trade Miles Garrett, give me something like Jared Verse back.
That's
That's
fair.
the best I can say. If I gotta trade Miles Garrett, please let me get something like Jared Verse back, and they did that. Denzel Ward is one of the 10, maybe 5 best corners in the league, and
He's up there.
then you still got Grant Delpit, Ronnie Hickman, who's really good, Tyson Campbell. Um, so yeah, it's just the quarterback, man. Like Deshaun Watson does not inspire anything. He's been really bad for them, so you really don't have a reason to think they'll be any good. We look at Pittsburgh, it's the same thing. I just if you were to give me a different quarterback outside of Aaron Rodgers and a different coach outside of McCarthy, this is easily a team I could see doing good things. Pittsburgh bringing in Michael Pittman hasn't got talked a lot about because people have varying opinions on Michael Pittman. I think Michael Pittman is a really good big body receiver who offers you something different than DK. DK game is built more on speed and his physicality, whereas Michael Pittman can win in the phone booth and a decent separator. They still have a good tight end room. In Pittsburgh, the offensive line is probably the best in the division. I think it's the best in the division by far. It's not even really close. Pittsburgh's offensive line is fucking great. And defensively, they're in a weird spot on defense because they are one of the older defenses, but the old guys on the defense are still really good. When you think of TJ Watt, you think of Cam Hayward. Patrick Queen is Patrick Queen. Like, he's not a great linebacker, but he's not bad either. He's good and can get the job done. He's going to fuck up a lot, but he also can make plays that change the game. And I think if you're at Pittsburgh, you are fine with that volatility. Jalen Ramsey was really good last year. He showed he can still do it. They signed Jamel Dean in the offseason. Deshaun Elliott's been a really good safety for them whenever he's on the field. He's just kind of struggles with injuries, but he's really good for them. Pittsburgh doesn't have a running back that I can look at and be like, I love. I think Jalen Warren's fine. He's just fine. It depends on what will they get from the wide receiver 3 position. Is it going to be Jeremy Bernard that step up for them? Is it going to be Roman Wilson finally? That remains to be seen. But like I said, there's a team that if I had a different quarterback, if I have a different coach, I feel a lot better about. But they ain't going to be an easy fucking win for nobody in the North. Cincinnati, I've been going back and forth with all summer about if they're going to win the division or not. But kind of got to see the defense make the change, and I got to see Joe be healthy for me to kind of buy into them being able to do that. But I still think this is a team that's going to make the playoffs. This is my 5 seed. I think this is going to be the 5 seed. I don't think there's going to be a big gap between them and the Ravens as far as wins, specifically because of the 2 schedules they have are just very funny schedules. And the Dexter Lawrence thing, I think Dexter Lawrence is going to be fucking great. Like, I think Dexter Lawrence is still that guy.
You see him lay out fucking P. Ryan in practice?
He'll have a new energy in Cincinnati than he did in fucking New York. Like, I can promise you that. If I can look on the other side of the ball and know I got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow, like, I think I can find something in myself that I maybe couldn't find when I'm looking over at Daniel Jones or Jackson Dart or some shit like that. So yeah, I'm real high on Cincinnati, and then with the Ravens, it's new everything, but for the better. Like, people who aren't following the Ravens on a week in and week out basis just don't understand how much joy was taken away from watching John Harbaugh coach a fucking football game. Like, John Harbaugh did a lot of great things for the Ravens, but John Harbaugh was supposed to be fired 10 years ago. That's just like, people just don't get that. Like, there's literally, you can go back and literally find any report, any article, any whatever. John Harbaugh was going to get fired in 2018. Lamar saved his job. And from that point, Lamar saved every other year of his career. And it was a lot of great times in that, but it was a lot of shit that held the Ravens back too. And it's just a new day that they're in with Jesse and Declan, bringing back Anthony Weaver to be the defensive coordinator when he probably shouldn't have left the building anyway. He probably should have been the DC when Mike Mack left. There's a lot of questions the Ravens have, like defensive depth. The cornerback room is a question outside of the starters. The tight end room is a question. Mark Andrews has to prove that he can beat the washed allegations. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Who knows? The offensive line is going to have questions. Obviously, they drafted Vega Ioane. In the draft, there's a new center. There's a complete new interior from left, center to right. There's a complete new interior offensive line for the Ravens. So there's a question there. People will question if Derrick Henry is going to, take a step back, or if you'll see any regression there, or start to see a decline. Who knows? There's not a lot of trust in Zay Flowers as a wide receiver one amongst a lot of people, or a lot of trust in this Ravens wide receiver room. But Jacoby Lane's kind of changing that with every fucking social media clip, and obviously,
Shout out to him.
obviously Zay Flowers got paid.
Best draft picks.
Obviously, Zay Flowers got paid as a top wide receiver. And the Rashad Bateman situation will probably end up playing itself out to be he gets suspended a few games maybe, but he probably is going to be fine. Um, yeah, the Ravens schedule more than anything, the Ravens schedule goes Colts, New Orleans, Dallas, and Brazil, which can be weird. Will probably be weird. Tennessee, Atlanta, and Cleveland. Outside of the Dallas game, they should be heavy favorites in all of those other 5 games, and
Probably
should be
favorites in the
expected
Dallas
to
game
win
too.
probably. Um, they should be heavy favorites expected to win that game before you get to October 25th, and you get Ravens Cincinnati. So I'm just high on what the season can be. Like, what does that look like when we get to the postseason? Who knows? But when we talking about 17 games over 3 months, 3 4 months, I'm just high on what this team can be.
No, I like the Ravens a lot. Again, the Bengals are so tough to me because I don't want to apply injury. Obviously, I don't want to be like, oh, Joe's going to miss this game, this game, this game. But at the same time, I don't think you can not acknowledge. It's like the 49ers to me is tough too. Like, I do think the 49ers have talent. I know I just digged on them a couple minutes ago. But I also think they're one of the teams where it's like, if you say injury is a part of your equation, that is now earned. Like, you just have so many guys that have missed time, um, that it's tough. Uh, Again, if the Bengals could sneak this out, if Joe is super healthy and they do just win all the games they're supposed to win. And I would like to see, I think Jessamine is a great defensive coordinator. I think the defense is going to rebound. And I think Lamar and Derrick Henry are just uniquely great in their own right. That if, like, as long as your OC's not a bust, I think you're going to have a good offense. I think for the Ravens, the one thing they got to figure out, and you don't really know it until it happens, is how good is Jesse Minter in those, like, in-game decision-making things, right? So there's like the obvious terrible end, which is like, don't be Nathaniel Hackett. Whatever you do, don't be Nathaniel Hackett. And then there is, can you be? It's
Don't be the
actually Jim
guy you're
Harbaugh's.
replacing.
That's that
Like,
too.
if you're Jesse Benson, like, don't be the guy you're replacing.
Like, Andy Reid. No, Reid's actually not great at in-game decision making. Like, Harbaugh's always been really good at like in-game decision making. Like, that's kind of his strong suit. Um, there's some other guys like Sirianni's honestly not terrible at it. I know Sirianni's a bozo, but like Sirianni's not terrible at in-game shit. I just don't know what he does pre-game or post-game, besides yell at fans. Um, but again, if you can figure that part out, I think this is still enough high-end talent where, and this is probably going to be because what Lamar's eligible to get paid after this season. I know he's technically eligible, whatever, but he's probably going to get a contract after the season.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, so it's like this is
Hopefully
why I understand
so.
it's a rookie head
Well,
coach.
I will be on watch. Would watch? Who's to say? But I will be on the watch.
But that means like this is one of your for sure more talented teams you're going to have if you're Jesse Minter before you got to because again, once you guys Lamar's going to be, we did that quarterback payroll last week, like Lamar's obviously going to be in that whatever is, maybe he comes up just slightly short of Mahomes, but even then, uh shout out to CJ Stroud for asking for $70 million. I know it's how the market
Salute.
works. But
And
like
you better ask for $70 million. We can work our way to a different number, but you bet your head I'm starting at 70.
oh man. I just hey man, shout out to them. But yes, I think this is a good year for them to capitalize. Um, And again, I think this division is heading even in a way where like a lot of these like we are starting to see some division turnover where like the clear best teams the last couple of years have been like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills. But it's like I think Denver's overtaken Kansas City. I think New England's going to have an argument that they've taken over Buffalo. Um, who won the North last year? The Steelers did, right?
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah. And they're a little different because Rodgers is 97, so like that's obviously doesn't seem like it's going to be consistent, or at least this version of him isn't. And everybody on their defense is
The North is
Pittsburgh
weird
is
because it goes 19 and 20. It goes the Ravens. No, I'm lying. 19 goes the Ravens. 20 goes Steelers. So 21 and 22 we go Cincinnati. 23 and 24 it goes the Ravens. Last year Pittsburgh wins it.
yeah.
Look at the Browns. Just inhale.
The Browns made the playoffs 3 years ago. Like that is a thing that happened. Like Joe Flacco did make the playoffs with the Cleveland Browns.
They got their ass whipped, but they made the playoffs.
They did. I mean, Pittsburgh
It was
made the playoffs.
done. They made it,
their
though.
ass whipped.
Funny enough, they both got their ass whipped by Houston. Who?
That's Stroud got a playoff win every year. Oh man. I don't know if we got any other notes around the AFC. For everybody listening, we did a team draft last year, which Tony won. We are going to be doing that next week as well. It's pretty much as far as we'll text about it a little bit later, but like pretty much same rules. We all start with obviously our own team that's automatically drafted to us, and then we go from there. I'm not picking Tennessee with my 6th pick this year. I promise I won't do it.
I got 10 bands on me winning this draft.
Rich nigga shit.
I got
Rubber bands.
I got $1.
But yeah, no. So we done again. We got the AFC, NFC. We'll do some playoff stuff. We'll get the team draft, and as far as right now, we are gonna try to do something with that because the NFL decided to start the season on a Wednesday. Yo, I don't know what I get it. The NFL, y'all the biggest product on TV. Cool. Y'all need to stop fucking with us. Starting games on Wednesday, starting the season on a Wednesday, going international on Thursday, and then y'all niggas want to sit there. I had to start a conversation a year and a half ago because y'all want to put the Super Bowl on Valentine's Day. Like, just there's David Stern would never.
The Super Bowl on Valentine's Day is such a layup.
You gonna watch the Super Bowl, Justin?
That's such
I'm
a
absolutely
layup.
watching
Like,
the Super Bowl. But I had to
Wouldn't
because I found out. When I found out
you
a year ago,
you was
they
finna
was
go
like,
out on Valentine's Day anyway.
And you just pick a spot that got TVs.
"Nah,
and
I can't do
alcohol.
that. I can't do that. I would. There was like 3 years. Last time I watched Super Bowl with people was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and shout out to everybody that watched Super Bowl with because this next part's not going to sound so nice. I don't know if I ever want to watch the Super Bowl with other people again.
If my team ain't playing, I don't give a fuck.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, why would you even? Like, what happened to where you cared that much?
I watched Chiefs Eagles and niggas couldn't understand my pain. Like this was the first Chiefs Eagles. So like I was.
You in too deep, man. You in too deep. Them niggas
I know
already
I
in the
am.
Super Bowl. Like with them winning gonna matter.
Not even just that, but y'all wasn't even like in the like. Y'all niggas.
Nah, but I watched. I had to go.
Stop them niggas.
I had to
It ain't
go.
like I can see if it was like this past year or something like that. Like I can feel your pain. Like I wasn't fucking
I
with
gotta
the Chiefs
go,
back then,
but like,
nigga.
I had to live through. So the same way, and I'm consistent. Niggas, I got my biases, but I'm consistent. The same way I dragged Josh Allen and said, "Yo, your wild card stats versus every other week." Denver's been to the second most Super Bowls of any franchise. Denver might also be the worst Super Bowl team in the NFL. Like Denver's got they ass whooped in multiple decades in the Super Bowl. Like
They're not a worse Super Bowl team than Buffalo. They've won some.
Man, 43-8 and 55-10 is on the resume. Like,
They do that 4 straight years. Like
no, but Buffalo wasn't getting like dragged in the Super Bowl. They were losing, but they weren't getting like destroyed. I don't know if a team. Hey man, look, see, I'm fair.
I'd rather get my ass beat than lose by 4 straight years. Like like shoot me in the head. Don't shoot me over and over in the legs.
I'm gonna put this out to the fan, to the fans. Has any team in any sport ever got their ass whooped than 43-8? Like, just think about any individual game you've watched. Like the way the Seahawks whooped Denver. Like, has any team like what's comparable ass rate? This is to the fans. Y'all ever seen a team get their ass whooped that bad? Because man, that was rough.
Have you ever seen a team get their ass whipped that bad and it be funnier? That's the thing. Those two different questions. Because if Denver was to just lose that game and they came into it as like just a great team, fine. They have the greatest offense of all time. They scored the most points ever. That's why it's funny. The first play of the game was a goddamn safety. That is God having a sense of humor. Like that's what that is. Denver could have just been a great team and lost that game and got blown out. It's like, okay, that happened. This is the most explosive offense ever. That's why it's so funny.
Hey, yo, if you go look at that play too, like one of the I think it's Michael Bennett. He almost beat Peyton to the ball, which is like crazy to think of. Like Peyton was so fucking slow, like nigga almost laughed.
Malcolm Smith, Super Bowl MVP. Malcolm Smith is selling car insurance right now. Like,
nah, the Ravens paid that nigga. He good.
That game was just very funny.
Hey man, appreciate everybody as always. We had almost 2.5 hours here, man. Appreciate y'all. Go check us out. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. Go on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
Did we do over-unders for them?
We didn't.
Oh, shit. My bad. I'm tripping. My bad. Sorry. Oops. I'm getting ahead of myself. Ravens are at the highest title.
One must be on one.
I mean, that's kind of true. But, 11.5 for the Ravens.
Over.
The Bengals are at 9.5.
Over.
Steelers. Where's Pittsburgh? 7.5. Look at the Mike Tomlin effect. That's a tough one. Because I wouldn't be shocked if they got to 8 wins, but I don't.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be at 9 because I would have said under.
I don't got the Steelers.
7.5.
They can go over.
I'm gonna go under because I do think they win 7. I think it's a 7-win team.
Yeah, I have them. I just looked. I have them at 8, so I gotta go under. Well, you said under 2.
No, I said over. You got them at over. If you got them at 8, You said they at 7.5, right?
7.5. Yeah, you're right. Damn. I just assumed they had one more. Okay, so we got over. And Tony, we're under.
Yeah, I got 7 wins.
I got 8.
Over and Will over. And then the last is the Cleveland Browns at 6.5.
The Cleveland fans hope is under. I can promise you that. So under.
That's
They had their chance to bench Deshaun Watson.
Multiple niggas just didn't have to sign him. Like Brown fans.
I mean that part was over with. Listen, y'all had every excuse to say, yeah, man, he ain't fucking with the fans right now. He talking shit. He talking shit about the fans booing us. Like,
nah, that shit was crazy. Oh, yeah. But so yeah, again, yeah, no.
What you gonna say, Tony?
Like him saying, like, oh yeah, they booed me when I got injured, and it's personal. It's
that nigga
not
said
just the play.
He said obviously it's not about the play.
Obviously, it's not just about the play.
It's more
like
personal.
The fucked up part is when it comes to the Browns fans in particular, it is about the play. Had he been Houston Deshaun Watson, it'd be fine. They wouldn't give a shit.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just the reality of the matter.
No, absolutely.
Like they can try to come back and make it a moral thing. They do not give a fuck about any of that happened. It is because he's been bad. But for him, on the accountability aspect of it,
no, he's not.
Man
then he calls
says,
himself a child of God
do?
like 30 seconds later. Like he's like, I'm a child of God. I'm patient. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Oh.
Man who stole purse from old lady gets his ass beat. Asks later, why y'all beating my ass? Like,
children be wild sometimes, they said.
Anytime a nigga tell you how he a child of God or of the Lord or anything like that, don't trust him.
For sure.
This nigga. Hey, Justin,
usually that means you did some bullshit. Usually that means you did some bullshit.
Appreciate everybody as always. We we will
No.
catch y'all next week before we do our team draft, some more playoff stuff. Fake Sports is almost back, man. We appreciate y'all. We'll catch you next week.
Justin did this whole show dressed like Shawn Wayans.
That nigga got on a quilted sweater.